Welcome, and welcome the saxophones. As always, we shall always bow down and welcome the sharp man playing saxophone dude. Right, I've got a controller on. Let us get the... You have my sax. Very nice. Very nice indeed. I'll take your inspiration away for that one. I don't know how I do that in a stream sense, but one day I'll be the DM, and you'll do something really good, and I'll go, that's good. I'll give you an inspiration for that, and you'll happily tick it off, and I'll then go, right, I'm taking it straight away for that joke you made a few years back. And I'll just have them stored up. Right, give him take that one away. No, take that one away. Take that one away. Take that one away. I have some idea of how bad the first one would be, because I think there's potential, but I also believe that I sort of know what I would do, which I've seen a lot of the videos describe. Eidolons come to grant us despairingly the death they crave, or so it is believed. But when the Eidolon Alexander is summoned by Hope's confused anguish, Lightning sees a different reason behind the entity's appearance. She comes to relieve that the Eidolons appear in order to prevent Lassie from giving up on themselves. When Lassie, consumed by despair or rage, are close to losing their path, an Eidolon appears and gives them a life or death trial to overcome, thereby forcing them to rethink their decision to surrender. Through this battle with Alexander, Hope is shite. Right. Now I've fucked it up, it don't matter. But yes, no, I've seen some of the sort of videos of, good DM / good players / bad / etc, etc. And one of the things I suspect I would be very guilty of the first time round, at the very least, is, and I've even, because I am sort of off and on writing bits and pieces down to sort of formulate some kind of campaign of some kind, but one of the things I suspect I'm going to be guilty of, and I've written it in as the opening section, is I'll be too guilty of railroading players, because it'll very much end up being sort of like, you're doing my story now, bitches. You go here when I tell you to go here, and you go here when you're told to do this. You want to do what? How dare you? That's not part of the storyline. You do this. And I think I'll be very much guilty of that, the first opening bits. But I do get the impression players do beat that out of you quite swiftly by doing weird shit, as, in fairness, I am a master player. I'm a master player when it comes down to doing weird shit. I've forgotten all the buttons. It's only been a week, I've forgotten every button I'm after. Right. Whereabouts? And I must admit, I'd be more impressed by reading very quickly if I actually got every word correct. Yes. See, that's the sort of thing I think would take some time to sort of delve into and kind of understand the ideas of what I sort of know the theory. The theory of being the DM is to put forth scenarios and then be willing to mould said scenario dependent on precisely what the players are responding to and sort of doing in general. Whereas I think it's going to be like, okay, I'm going to sort of be a little bit too kind of hand-holding at first, I think. But as I say, I sort of, what I sort of planned ages and ages ago, I've got documents for days, but I sort of planned the idea of being a little bit railroady and then being able to open it up to be a bit more sort of less so. So I've almost planned for my evolution, which is not really how evolution works, I don't think. Right, I'm getting confused. Right, do we want to go up on the hill? No, we want to go down on the side path. That's what we want to do. Yeah, I imagine though, every Saturday I'm like, okay, how to get my players from here to here, and then every Monday or every Sunday evening, I suppose, the despair of they didn't do anything properly sets in. That's what I imagine your life is like. Saturday, yeah, I'll just nudge them here and nudge them there and then maybe they'll go... Oh, they've not done any of it! They've not done any of it! They've focused too heavily on the stew! I think that was one of your memes put in the channel, wasn't it? The old, you've done your job as a DM well when they don't trust the stew. Jesus Christ, when they don't trust the stew. And I still think that gazebo story is quite a lovely one. I don't know if you've heard it properly. James gave a nice sort of summary of it when I mentioned it the other day. But that idea of sort of nobody knew what a gazebo was. They'd never heard the word, I think, was the idea behind the story. And so it's like... And you find yourself in front of a gazebo. Okay, I'm going to attack the gazebo. Why? It's a gazebo. It doesn't do it. You didn't do anything to it. Okay. I launch a fire arrow at the gazebo. Is it weak to fire? The gazebo is on fire, but it still seems to not be doing anything else. All because I think they didn't understand what a gazebo was. And I think that story still makes me chuckle, clearly. It's so amusing. And quite interesting how... Whoa! What the Billy fuck? Oh, these guys... Yeah. Oh, I mentioned this last week. I wasn't expecting it to actually happen. Right, you are facing... No, the Oogaloo is the big fella. The Verdelay is the... Let's get the fuck. I think we need to provoke some bitches. And then we need to get to Medigarding, methinks. Right. Good lord, this is proving troublesome now. Right, okay. Medigard. I should have activated Medigard earlier. Oh well. Too late to give a shit. It's too late. Right, we really need to get rid of these Verdelays. But I did say there was a creature in this that was able to send out like a mimic cry type deal. And they would summon something nasty. Oh, we don't actually know... Oh, no wonder we're struggling. Well, struggling a little bit anyway. Libra the Verdelay, but we also need to very much... Oh, shit. Libra has stopped me from doing what I needed to do, which I think means... Yeah, Fang's dead. Okay, well. We'll start that again and just try and, I don't know, do better, I suppose. We'll try and make sure we Libra the Verdelays first. That's going to be semi-crucial. Might be worthwhile trying to get the back attack, but in fairness, I did try and get the back attack last time, and it didn't quite connect. Oh, that one might have. I realise it didn't look necessarily like it was on the back, but still. Next time I'll make the mouse bigger. Oh, the moose bigger. Sorry, yes, the moose. I must admit, I thought when you said when I misread it as mouse, I thought you meant the little rat that we all sort of shat ourselves over. Oh, that's the Droas. We don't know what the Droas are either. Okay. Yeah, okay. This is definitely going to be awkward because there's a lot of these creatures. But arguably we did get the back attack this time, so we might have a bit of an advantage. But yeah, I remember there was the little rat in the under sewer thing that you'd... nobody was sure what to make of there as well. It was like, what the fuck? Is it just a rat? It's just a rat. I thought you were referring to that, but yeah. I mean, in fairness, you'll probably have to start making a lot of things bigger and nastier. But only really against... Probably only really against Galen and the Sorcerers, perhaps. Because my character's not really built for much of anything, almost. But certainly, in combat, you kind of have the advantage of my character. He's pretty... Although you did give me a laser rifle, which I don't know whether that was a smart decision or not, but in fairness, I can still quite easily miss with it. But, yes. But most of my character's skills come in outside of battle. So inside battle, it's kind of like, yep, no, you can just decimate me. Which has been seen several times in the whole... suddenly... Oh, here we go. Someone's trying to summon something, which I could do with stopping him doing, but I'm never going to get... I don't know which one's doing it, and I'd never be able to actually kill the bastard. So, unfortunately, we do find ourselves in the same situation as we were in last time, which didn't end well, did it? So let's Libra... Do I need to Libra the Verdalize? Yes, I do. Ah, I think I'm literally going to fall foul of the same issue. The fact that I can't Yep. Oh, Christ. This battle... Just a piece of shit, isn't it? Oh, it's a piece of cock. Well, we've kind of lost Zaz, which means I'm going to have to revive Zaz. Oof. I think I might just leave it. Can we officially... Oh, yeah, we can officially retry. So, yeah, we'll just... I'm just going to write that one off in the book of many failures and carry on and start again. I think it's the Verdalays. They might both be able to summon, but I get the impression it's the Verdalays that are doing the summoning. Which means I need to try and... I need to tackle them and get rid of them first, because they're proving an absolute pain in the fucking ballsack. We also need to deal with our... I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll do a Libra Scope, because that's going to tackle every single one of them. And now, let's take down these Verdalays. As I say, I don't know. Both species might have the ability to summon, but I'm getting the impression that the Verdalays might be the more troublesome of the two. Which means we need to focus on them. However, they are still... I mean, both enemies have high-end magic that is just ripping the shit out of my health bars. Which is just... Good God. No, that's why I keep trying in D&D. I think I'm so used to just having to fight my way out of a situation. I keep liking the idea of talking out of it, but unfortunately that never works. No matter what happens, eventually either I get bored of trying, or someone else gets bored of me trying, or of course 9 times out of 10 it's like, I reckon I can talk my way out of this situation. Yes, because he was an idiot. And I don't do well with idiots, despite being one myself. You'd think I could provide some sympathy, but no. Children. Apparently children are my weakness. Could not stand being around that child. Right, come on, take down the next Verdalay. But yeah, the other one that often happens is I think I can talk my way out of this situation. You say initiative, and it's 2 on the initiative, and it's like, oh, well, shit. And then everybody else goes, fire everything! And then it's like, my turn, it's like, cool, yep. We come in peace, except we have killed at least 6 of you. I'm sorry, but we come in peace? Peace now? So it's almost always ended up being, if I'm trying to do any kind of talking my way out of it, every time it seems to end up being, you've seen us kill... I mean, basically everyone. Would you like to give up? Rather than the original plan, which is to, you know, try and chat them into surrendering. But still, I suppose Dungeons and Dragons is a bit more built for combat, I think, to a certain extent. Have we dealt with Verdalays? Yes, we have. Good. That is going to be quite useful. Okay, so Conjure. I think Conjure. You've just brought another. You've brought another pissing Verdalay in. Son of a bitch. Okay, so. These guys. What we call these guys in the trade is pricks. Because you see, one of the groups, the Adroa, what do? They summon the Verdalay. And then I think, what does the Verdalay do? The Verdalay summons the big guy. So if I focus on the Verdalay to stop the big guy coming in, the Adroas bring a shed-load more Verdalays I have to deal with. If I focus on the Adroas before the Verdalays bring the big dude in. Sup on the tasty, tasty bullshit. I'm tapping the button because I need them to move faster. Because I need you to kill these things. I need you to kill. God damn it. Every time I think maybe I'll be able to get Vanille to do some actual damage, suddenly, no. Of course not. Everybody has to heal again. Okay, somewhere along the line, I think I've blitzed an Adroa out of existence. So that's quite helpful. So if we just carry on focusing on the Verdalay, we're not going to get particularly good marks for this battle, I would not assume. It's plausible we may get... Oh, you prick. You little prick, you little prick. Little prick, 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 you absolute prick. Well, we're in the situation again. What's the situation we're in? Oh, is the situation that you've got a big boss monster despite everything you did to stop that situation. Oh my god, there's another Verdalay. Oh, this battle is horse shit. I think this is one of the worst ones they've ever put me in front of. And it's not even actually a boss fight. My word, Final Fantasy XIII, stop being a pile of poo. Yield for at least a moment or two. If I can get the Oogaloo down to by himself, I might be able to win this, but it requires Vanille not to die. And I think Vanille is very much looking at the idea of dying and going, yes, please! I'm running towards the light now. Please stop doing that, Vanille. Just keep healing yourself. Come on. God damn it, Vanille! One thing I fucking said, don't fucking die, you fucking bitch. Now I don't have any healing, so that's fun. Renew should do. There we go, good. I don't know if... I think Zaz was very nearly dead as well. I need... Challenge, yeah, lovely, challenged. Challenged, yeah, lovely. Do the challenge, get the challenge. Do the challenge! Now get the Medigard, I suppose. Yes, start the Medigard. There we go. Right, now I need... Zaz, we need you. We need you to take out this enemy. Unfortunately, you are pretty much doing it by yourself. Because unless I change up, which I think I will, let's change up to entrenching, which will at least allow Fang to do a little bit of extra damage. This should put us in a suitable holding pattern that will allow me to kill this thing and then start focusing on the Oogaloo. There we go. Good. Right. One dead. Now, bullying time, I think. Yes, I think we can get a quick bit of bullying in. Bully, bully, bully. Right, come on. Here we go. Now, I think with enough buffs... Oh, a little bit of Imperil. If you were wondering, the symbol on the Oogaloo is Imperil. I think you probably see it. I don't know. Difficult to know precisely how the resolution is. Oh dear, I need some medic attention. But nonetheless, the icon there is basically the elemental symbols. Fire, ice, water and lightning, I think it's considered in this. With a little downward arrow. And that's basically, Imperil is you make them weak to all elements. Or, well, technically not all elements, I suppose. The 4 primaries. I don't think Imperil includes the air spells and the earth spells. And I'm not even convinced we've got any earth spells at the moment. I might be wrong. I think we've got an earth technique. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, we've got Quake as an earth technique, but I don't know if there. I can't remember if there are actual earth spells or not. But nonetheless, we don't have any, obviously, at the moment. I don't think. Right, here we go. Nice and easy now. Nice and easy. Who'd have thought the little fellas would be the most troublesome part of this battle, and the big fellas like, nah, easy peasy. There you go. As predicted, as very much predicted. 0 stars. That was the mission. Okay, fair dues. Oh, it was the Adro... Oh, right, okay. Lovely, cool. Well, that's something, I suppose. Did get ourselves a pearl necklace, though. Don't know what a pearl necklace is. Like 30 goblins, yeah. What is a pearl necklace indeed? Oh, talking of Imperil, I can resist Imperil with a pearl necklace. I don't think I want one, though. Oh, a treasure chest. Oh, yes, indeed. I lie. Oh, that's not quite where I thought the song was going. As is so often the way. Okay, so if that was the... Every time. If that was the mission complete, I suppose, strictly speaking, we probably want to swing back down to that save point, and then grab the mission there, I believe, assuming that is a mission that we want to do next. I don't know for a certain, no. Data log, do we have? I don't think we do. Interesting. Are you sure? I thought, unless it's elsewhere. No, it doesn't appear to be. You'd have thought it was in here. Review fragments of ancient writing and prophecy. I don't need to. The 13 days, history and myth. No, none of those are gonna help me. And one Van Goblin. Oh, don't put in a Van Goblin. We'll never beat a Van Goblin. There's no possible chance of defending ourselves against a Van Goblin. They are too powerful. Too powerful by far. And especially, we could not hope to survive if it ever gets its hands on shoes. If it gets its hands on shoes, that's it. Game over, bruv. Game over. I don't know why I put bruv in there. It just sort of happened. Wasn't intending necessarily to say bruv. It just sort of came out and went bruv. Right, the joyless reunion. So I'm to rid the world of Edimu. She was prowling the Sumatran basin, last I heard. Perhaps it is time to pay her a final visit and join her as a Sith. I could not bear to raise a weapon against my own wife. After all... Oh, that was all one sentence. I could not raise a weapon against my wife, after all. Not even if her mind is no longer her own. Take on this mission? Yes, take on this mission. Take it on. Yeah, it's not the map button. It's not the map button. Oh, it's not the map button. Right, so we basically want to just head back the way we came. And I think this is the... Was this the teleporter one? No. Seath Waystones are the sort of brown ones. We have encountered a Seath Waystone previously, though, haven't we? No, maybe not. Maybe not. Oh, well, back the way we came. This is what I meant. I don't know how many people sort of read the sort of beginning text gumph stuff that I put in there, but this is what I meant by trudging through Grand Pulse. Because I could technically just go straight to the next chapter, but I think you do kind of need... You need to get at least a chunk of crystal points before even remotely trying to do that. But in order to get those, the easiest way is to sort of trudge around doing these missions. But the problem with that is, of course, you're trudging around trying to do these missions. Hybrid Flora. Ah, good. Right, is it... Oh, immune to physical attacks. That's why I'm using Ruin. It makes a degree of sense, but it also puts a little bit of annoyance on here. I am wondering if it'd be easier. Yeah, I'll take advantage of this stagger, and then I think I'll have to change target, which is slightly problematic, of course, because it's very much like any combat system. You do kind of want to focus down enemies. Good Lord, Vanille, I need you to heal more than I've ever needed you to heal before. Come on, heal me now. You're nothing. I think I've discussed this before, but the music in Final Fantasy is just astoundingly good. It really is exceptionally good. Oh, Lord. God, poisoned and lower magic, which is, I mean, not... The lower magic part of this situation is no real... Okay. Vanille. Please, Vanille. Vanille, could you? Could you? Maybe. A little more. And by a little more, I mean a lot more. Lots more health, please, Vanille. Da, 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 da. Come on, there we go. All the heals for Fang, please. Come on, Vanille. You know what you have to do. You just have to focus on healing the main character. Because no one else is important enough to get the heals. Well, yeah, I suppose technically she did nothing on those extra 2 attacks, which is a bit of a bugger. It's not exactly what you want to see. Come on, a little bit more curing. Curasa, marvellous. You better cure my ass. It's damaged beyond repair. But Cure takes the edge off. Curasa even takes the edge off. Alright, come on. We've almost got that break point going. The hybrid flora is not too troublesome. It's more, a lot of the time in this game, it boils down to numbers. I mean, I suppose arguably, yeah, it really does. If you take it right down to the code level of looking at it, yeah, it really does kind of boil down to numbers. But I mean in terms of, like, more in terms of numbers of combatants. If you get lots and lots of combatants, then you can easily get overwhelmed. If you've only got the one, it's a little bit easier to keep everything above a tipping point of death. So, like, against the hybrid flora, he's not super duper overpowered for starters, which helps a lot. But it's also, like, because it's just the one guy, he's only going to have sort of one attack. Now, granted, that one attack could devastate all 3 health bars, but it's still one attack, and then a little bit of time, and then one attack. Or technically, I suppose he did whack us twice there, but that's still considered one attack. I'm being overly pedantic on my own sentences. That's the way. Oh dear, that's not the way. That's not the way we want. Can you just say it was easier to... yes! I know exactly what I said, thank you very much, I said it! I say that. I often don't pay attention to what I said, but on this occasion, I know what I said. Shut up. That's my counter to that. 5 stars though, not bad. And by not bad, the best you can possibly hope to get. There's no better rank than 5 stars in this game, so you can't get better than 5 stars. Oh, little slugs. Yes, took advantage of the back attack on the little slugs. Now I just need to take advantage. I think, honestly, I think it's going to be easier just clip all the slugs, because A, they're together for blitzing, which is quite good, and B, they are quite weak. So if I can just tackle them, that's the ticket. Right, now let's get into bully so that we can try and get some good stuff going with the old buffs and debuffs, which will hopefully... oh no, it's already staggered. Oh, well, that's handy. Well, I say that's handy, but run out of stagger and I've not been able to take advantage of it, but I was desperately trying to get it to keep the stagger meter up. I'd not spotted it was actually tracking down. Alright, anyway, now, Relentless Assault. So now, interestingly enough, it's immune to physical attacks. Okay, no, fine, shut up. Oh no, whoa, 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 what the shitting shitters is shitting happening? How did Vanille just die? What the fuck was that? Could you not suddenly kick off and kill me? Okay, I just want to test a theory. So we'll just do one attack. Yeah, no, he does block it. Fair enough. I was about to say it's immune to physical attacks, but now I've got an element on my weapon. But apparently it makes no fucking difference. Physical attacks is physical attacks. So ruin it is! But I'm loosely assuming... I don't know how Fire works in that regard. But arguably, I probably should really know how... Just wanted to double check something. Thought for a moment there I'd been completely mistaken. It was immune to magic, which would have made it very difficult.
And I was just getting started.
Yeah. 5 stars worth of just getting started. But let's... I mean, I'm just going to have an investigate of the... I think I called it bar fire. What I meant was end fire. Synergist, end fire. Yeah. So add fire attribute to targets Com, Rav, Sen, or Sab attacks. And I think Yeah. Although, having said that, that is specifically called attack. I just wondered if it did pop the fire element on the ruin magic spell, but I'm not convinced. Not convinced. I might be mistaken, but I'm not convinced that is a thing. I don't think there's a way of back attacking this thing, so I think it's pretty much just going to be just get straight in there, just knock a little bit on its tail, and then we'll tackle the rest of it in battle. Why are you... Oh, it's resistant to physical attacks. Okay, cool. I mean, by cool, I mean, son of a bitch, could you not do that? But, you know, outside of that, it's all cool. It's all the coolest it could be. Yeah, I feel like at this point, I really feel like I should perhaps be one of the Ravager characters, because then I'd be feeling like I was doing more inside the battle, because at the moment, unfortunately, especially with Fang, she is... I think she's mostly biasing physical damage. Which means, unfortunately, using the magical side of the commando. Because Snow, oddly enough, being more of a magical-based attacker in the first place, his commando ruin spell would actually be slightly better, but I don't know. I chose Fang, and I still like to be Fang at the moment. What we'll do is, I don't know, figure out an arbitrary time frame to just go, hey, I'll switch it up and be another team. Don't know precisely when that's going to be, just I'll figure it out. I'll just sort of go with the flow, and the flow will take me where I need to go. Go, 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 go. I know where I need to go, so I'm gonna go there and do things. Oh, I am no longer able to use magic, which is going to make this a little bit more troublesome. Although, sometimes you do wonder. It doesn't make too much difference. Oh, she's actually... did she get sooner that off? Possibly. Sometimes it's difficult to keep track of what your allies are doing, because this... As much as they do sort of have the little icon pop up above the head, it's kind of like... You don't always see that, because the camera's not focused on everybody at once, but she certainly has a sooner, because we just caught her using it, so I'm assuming on that previous occasion she was very much soonering those debuffs off of me, which is very useful. I think usually with the debuffs, I think I may have mentioned this previously, but difficult to know for certain sometimes. With debuffs, there's very much two methods to removing them in this game. You can either Asuna them away, and I think Asuna pretty much covers most of them. I don't think there's many debuffs that, if any... Oh, for fuck's sake, Zaz. Oh, it's not worth reviving him. Well, I say that, it might end up being worth reviving him, but... If we let them get up to sort of higher health and then get Vanille back in the action, we should be able to kill it before the death of Zaz really sort of diminishes our battling prowess. 2 stars, though, probably because bloody Zaz died. Could you try staying alive next time, mate? It's helpful to my cause, oh yes. I'd do a cause song if I could remember any for that little gag there. I can't actually do you a cause song, I can't really remember any. But, just, you know, just know the thought was there, and as we all know, it's the thought that counts. Da 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 da. La 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 la. Wow, it's really struggling. I mean, yeah. Seems to always struggle, doesn't it? Yeah, a little bit. Although even more so today, it would seem. Not sure why. Nothing's really changed, and yet somehow the computer is struggling still. Which, there you go, not a lot I can do, but still, indeed. Right, so there is one of those Seath Waystones, but I don't think... So that is the... I have slayed it, so I can technically... No. But I don't think... I think the problem is I don't have any other Seath Waystones, which means I can't use the teleportation system. Right, so we want to hoof it across this map. We'll probably take on the wolf creatures, the little lupine fellas. Nope, they were ready, ready, ready for me. That's right, ready, ready and waiting for me. The Gorgonopsid. There you go. But they are ultimately a lupine type creature. So I was not too far off my description. Yeah. You freeze their assets off. I mean, it's one way to stop them procreating. If you freeze their assets off, they won't be able to make more little baby Gorgonopsids, which may make this land safer. Yeah, I am Fang. I've dropped in to see you. Ah, monstrous Fang. Well, that seems unfair. I thought she was a delightful woman. Da, 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 da. So I kind of went the wrong way. Oh, this is fine. Oh, this is fine. It doesn't make too much difference. Well, we might as well have another cheeky save. Cheeky save. Yes, indeed. You never know when an extra cheeky save will save your life. Oh, here we go. Those plants are alive. I know it, you know it, we all bloody know it, but there you go. I'm slightly surprised that's classified as back attack, but I'll take the win against the Triffids. It looks like it's not your day, Triffids. Because if you were unaware, there is a at the very least TV program. I can't remember if it started as a TV program or started as a film or started as a book maybe, but nonetheless, it's Day of the Triffids. Take your inspiration away, ASAP. How dare you? How dare you? It was a damn fine gag. But yeah, I must admit I don't know the history of Day of the Triffids. As I say, I remember there was a, I say recent, it's probably still like 10 or so years ago, I think. But recent-ish one, they redid it for TV. But the original, I can't remember if that was a TV thing or it was sort of a B-movie type deal. And I don't know where that came from. It might have been, as I say, may have originated as a book, I suppose. Diabolic Tales. I thought Tails was actually a reasonably cute fox. Oh, we've actually stumbled upon doing the correct path, which not 100% what I planned for, but that's fine.
I was just thinking.
About what? Something complicated?
No, I think he's not really all there, so something complicated is probably not running through his brain.
When I was on Cocoon.
Now, see, Vanille, if you were a lesser person, you would have just gone, take that as a smell. But you're a fine upstanding individual who would never consider doing that. So well done, you, Vanille.
I hadn't been sitting in that same train car during the purge. If anything had been different, I'd never have had a chance to see this.
No. I'm sure you would have wound up here. Don't you remember you promised me? You promised me that we'd come and see Grand Pulse together.
Really?
I don't remember him saying that either.
When did I do that?
I don't know. How about another lifetime?
She's being stupid. Okay, that's fine.
What does that even mean?
Yeah, I know, I'm with you there, kid. She's an idiot.
Truth. I've told so many lies. It's all a blur.
Well, you know, sometimes you have to lie about stuff to keep yourself going because you're afraid. Or to protect someone else so they don't get hurt. Sometimes even the things that everyone in the whole world thinks are true turn out to be lies. At the end of the day, though, it's not the lie that matters, but what you do after you tell it. Work hard enough, and you can make it true. I mean, maybe we both forgot. Maybe we did promise to see Grand Pulse together. And Cocoon.
Don't start with amnesia tales. We'll head squarely into Final Fantasy VIII territory, and Final Fantasy VIII's confusing.
It makes me happy when you smile.
I didn't know you felt that way. Wait a minute. You mean you were joking?
Now we're even.
Hey! Wait! Hey!
Where are the adults in this situation? Can we go back to the adults, see what they're up to? Apparently, yes, we can. Marvellous. Okay, so... Wait. Now I'm confused as to where I'm going and I've been... Okay, so the star is there, so we want to wrap round to the right. But first... Always go for a cheeky save. Does it have to be cheeky? Oh yes. The only time you can save your game is with a wink and a nudge, a little cheeky save. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You know what I mean when I say cheeky save. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Oh yes. Right, Triffids are pretty easy, so we shouldn't have any problems here. They do have a couple of nasty attacks, but speaking of which, spin attack. Although having said that, I mean, I suppose it's doing debuffs, interestingly enough. I didn't know that. Well, I suppose technically I probably did know it, but just never really acknowledged it earlier. Because that's where the debuffs are coming from. I've acknowledged the fact that there were debuffs, I've just never acknowledged the fact that they came from the spin attack. I thought the spin attack was a bit more of a chunky amount of solid damage to the old characters, but apparently not. Apparently it's naught but a thingy, a thingy and a thingy and a thingy and a thoo. That's what happens when your brain just turns off mid-sun. Oh, mid-sun. Oh, mid-sentence. Yes, indeed. You just get full of things, and things. 5 stars, baby! Diabolical Towel and a Malted Towel. Oh yeah, I was going to suggest Diabolical Towel, or Diabolic. It's just Diabolic. I'm almost hoping it's not just Diabolic, because I don't know if you should be doing that. Yeah, Diabolic. Diabolic, as in diabolical. Like the way you pronounce words, yes, indeed. But yeah, that almost does now make me think of it being Diabolic. So you just choose a little bit of dye. I suppose it depends on, whether you're clean-shaven or uncleanly shaven. If you're filthily shaven, no, you should probably improve upon that. You should be clean at all times. Even if it's unshaven, it should still be clean. Oh, do I really want to take down these pricks? No, but I kinda have to, 'cause I do want the treasure chest. So let's let that guy turn around. And you little shit. Did I still get it? Yes, I did. Good. Not quite as much of a shit as I thought. Oh, but these are Rangdas and Leaks. And I don't think Rangdas and Leaks are half as difficult. No, look at that. Going down like a little baby. If I took a giant bladed spear and sliced up a baby, it would be like beating these things. Probably shouldn't do that though, should you? No, probably shouldn't. Should you maybe consider removing the word probably from that sentence? Well, You know, never say never. Maybe slicing a baby in half with a bladed spear would be useful under the right circumstances. Or the wrong circumstances, depending on your opinion of slicing babies in half with a bladed spear. I just quite like saying the phrase, slice baby in half with a bladed spear now. It's not exactly a tongue twister, but it rolls out quite satisfyingly. Take a baby, slice a baby in half with the big bladed spear. I think it's because there's a lot of B words in there. Slice a baby in half with a bladed spear. Not as many as I thought when I first said that theory, but... Whee! Treasure chest. A watchman's amulet. But do pray tell, who watches the watchman? I don't necessarily think the watchman's amulet's going to be all that good. A critical veil. No. No thank you. No thank you. No thank you. No thank you. I do not want your shitty piece of jewellery upon my person. I much prefer my tungsten bangle. My bangalore, my tungsten my bangalore. Now, do I want to take this thing on? I mean, in the strictest sense of the phrase, unnecessary. It is looking unnecessary. Because there's not treasure chests. But he has turned his back, so... In Night Flynn, you gotta watch yourself if you turn your back on me. Slightly concerned by the phrase Behemoth King. Makes me think I'm gonna lose my life immediately. Because I am going against the king of the Behemoths. And the Behemoths are tough little bastards. I don't know if you ever played Monster Hunter Worlds. If anybody out there has played Monster Hunter World, do feel free to scream and shout to your heart's content, going, "Yes, I did! It's wonderful!" Because that's the only opinion that I would accept when it comes to Monster Hunter Worlds. It is wonderful. But they did a special crossover with Final Fantasy XIV? Yes, the MMORPG one. Final Fantasy XIV, where they introduced a Behemoth as an enemy in Monster Hunter, and boy, oh boy, was the Behemoth difficult in that. It was... I mean, Monster Hunter Worlds tends to be quite a difficult game in general. It's, oh, you little shite. You are a little shite. Can't you get yourself flushed down the toilet? That would be for the best. Come on, let's get some buffs. And oh! He did about 1,600 damage in one sweep of the claw. Yeah, okay. Back attack or no back attack? Looks like we're not going to bother with that guy. See ya, buddy. It's time. Oh, it's the big fella. That's fair enough. I think there might be a couple of Triffids involved here as well. Yeah, Triffids everywhere. I got Triffids everywhere. I got Triffids. It sounds like you don't care, but you're my doctor. You have to care about my Triffids. Come forth and look at my Triffids. Please, please, doctor. You must check out my Triffids. Please tell me if my Triffids are serious. Oh, the Triffids are definitely serious. They're not going to kill you, but they're most certainly serious about staying here. They don't want to die. They're very serious about not dying, but unfortunately they've not got much of a choice. Wipe out those dirty Triffids. Good Lord, Fank has a large volume of status, debuffs. Status ailments is the correct term, actually. I think, well, in fairness, she's got both debuffs and status ailments. I don't think I actually finished the thought track earlier, but in terms of debuffs, there are two options to get rid of them. A sooner, I believe, will work. It will just remove the debuff. The other option, of course, is time, so technically there's 3 options to get rid of them. If you give it enough time, the debuff will just, as seen there, do a little bit of a flash and then fade away. The third option is you can just buff over them. So you apply a buff, and that will remove the debuff if the buff is the opposite of the debuff, if that makes sense. So if you are slowed and you apply a haste, instead of hasting you, it will get rid of the slow. You would then have to do a second haste in that situation to then actually be hasted. I think that makes sense. So you can use the opposite buff to remove a debuff. Likewise, when it comes to enemies, and us, it goes both ways technically, when it comes to a buff can be removed by the opposing debuff, but that would only bring you back down to neutral, I believe. I'm fairly confident that's the correct thought track. What we'll need is Zaz, if you could just get healed a little bit. Now let's pop to Bully, because I wouldn't mind getting a little bit of speed out up in this house. So come on, Zaz, get us hooked on drugs. Specifically the drug known as speed. Oh dear. Apparently I couldn't get the words out because they stuck in my throat, and then I sort of slightly belched, but not fully. Never fully. Never fully belch. No, no, no. Unfortunately, when it repeats that same sort of beat on the song, I just keep repeating the same word. It's not good. It's not good at all, is it? But still. Come on, just a little bit more. Hey, there you go. I told you just a little bit more. Ooh, ah, just a little bit. Ooh, ah, a little bit more. Ooh, ah, just a little bit. You know what you're doing for. Oh! Little Billy bullshitter. That's right, that's who you are. Your name is no longer Svarog. It's Little Billy Bullshitter. Should be able to kill him. I'm not reviving Vanille. I don't want to use the resources. Da 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 da. Ba 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 doo. Have you had Papa's brand new bag? No. Would you recommend Papa's brand new bag? No, I'm indifferent to it. I don't drink tea. Da, 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 da. But you never know. Maybe. Papa's brand new bag. Yeah, I can sort of see you lurking around the corner. It's a variant of... oh, it's a variant of one of them. I thought it was a Triffid. It was a variant of a Triffid, but yeah, we've seen versions of this thing in the past. Edimoo. Eddie! Stop mooing! Eddie, you're not a cow, Eddie. I don't want you to moo, Eddie. Eddie, don't moo. You've been doo-dee-doo. Eddie, don't moo. Could you not kill everyone, for fuck's sake? Challenge it. Good. Get rid of those challenges because you don't need them anymore. Entrench. Oh, entrench me. Do-do-do-do-do. Come on, Vanille. We need some more health, please. Wind Slash. Oh, okay. Wind Slash is against anybody, which is a nuisance. Really? Did you absolutely have to miss? You annoyance Fang. Oh, get that Mediguard up. Good. Good. That's what we like to see. Da, 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 da. Oh, I can't actually really do much. So, oh, I mean, that's just rude. I suppose what we could do with... what I want to do is get down to bullying. Yeah, get down to that bullying. It's not the best with Fang on low health, but nonetheless, get to the bullying, get the hastes up. And hopefully, I mean, it would be really nice. I don't necessarily think it... yeah, I thought I'd fucked it. It's annoying. Renew, my people. Challenge it. Clear those. Little tip for people. If you've been wondering what I do sometimes you can't get it to go well enough, but other times what you can do... do we have protection? Yeah, okay. Synergist. Yeah, get the synergists up. One of them. No, I don't. But I don't want to exit the game to get rid of it, so it'll have to just stay there for now. Right, okay, with Sentinel, Synergist and Medigard on board. I don't think we want that. I think we want Entrench, really, would be the better option at this point, because we can still do a little bit of damage, at least. Oh, no, I'm never going to get there in time. Oh, well, never mind. So much for getting the meter. Right, we've got a shitload of buffs. So let's get a little bit... I mean, it's more buffs, but the key thing is it's sabotage. Are you immune to some things? Yeah, but not necessarily the ones I would like to get on you, so... Because what I'm distinctly hoping for is Imperil, especially now you've de-shelled it. De-shell was a good choice, but de-protect not so much. Imperil, that's the one we really want. There we go, that's the one we got. That's called tactics, yes indeed, tactics. I'm not sure I like them. I prefer just seat of your pants. But yes, sometimes even I have to, especially against these hunt monsters, because they're chunkier than your average bear. Yeah, they do a lot more damage and do a lot more random shit. But yeah. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. I mean, Vanille is still on healing mode, so come on. Hey, got him. Whew. Fuck with that. Yeah, he did not wish to go down unto this sweet sleep of night. Sorcerer's Mark. Oh, I've got a feeling that was useless, but... Oh, I got Kelger's Cup. Don't know what Kelger had in his cup previously, but... Sorcerer's Mark. Oh, ooh. Oh my, that's magic plus 100, so... Ah, Magician's Mark. Yeah. Yeah, I do want Sorcerer's Mark. Sorcerer called Mark. Oh, here he is. Hello, I'm Mark. I'm a sorcerer. What sort of spells do you cast? Quite dull ones, in fairness. I mean, I am a sorcerer called Mark. What were you expecting? Firebolts and thunderwaves? No, I'm a sorcerer called Mark. I can't offer much, but there you go. No. Of our minds. So I think that orange one is the one we want to head towards. No, not convinced they're living creatures. Do we want to hoof it straight across there? Yes, we do. But don't go right. Don't go right. And don't go into the long grass. No, I'm... Fair dues game. Fair dues. I mean, I couldn't have planned that much better, I suppose. I was considering the idea of going to the long grass, and the long grass said no. Because there was a little invisible wall to prevent you going exactly into the long grass there. And in fairness, that wasn't that long a grass, but it would have been long enough for the joke to have gone through, but the game just went, no, it's a shit. I'm doing you a service. It's a shit joke. You know it's a shit joke, yeah? So I'm going to say no, and that's going to save you from making the shit joke, okay? I'm doing you a favour. It may not feel like it immediately, but trust me, in the long term, you'll realise I did you a favour. I don't want to eat it there, thank you. I've already had lunch, so I'm good to not eat for at least a couple more hours, I would say. In fact, yeah, I'm entirely correct. It's 5:30, I don't usually eat until about 7:30 to 8 o'clock. Not that you need to know that, but hey, it's fun facts for you. Fun facts for you, fun facts for me. That's right, I'm gonna give away all my secrets. The secret that I eat my dinner between 7:30 and 8. Oh, that's right, indeed, I do. Right, was that actually... I've got a feeling that might be one I've already dealt with. Yes, I think that's the one we've already tested. Could you just leave me alone a moment? I just need to figure this out, thank you. So that is... Yes, slain. So that was number 4. No, I don't want to try that again. Phew. I got the feeling we might just, for now at least... I'm not sure... Oh, there's next level. But that's... Yeah, I was going to say that's level No, maybe not. No? No, that is all suburban highlands. I don't think... Oh, there you go. So we're looking for number 6. But... La, 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 la. Oh, that's fine. But I don't know where number 6 is. So that could prove tricky, yes. Immensely so if I don't know where to go. I don't. There's a little spoiler for you. What I'll do is, for now, I'll follow the exclamation mark of progress. And then, as I explore, there may be another mission we can do. I can't remember. I must admit, it's one of those games where, because I've started it and then not completed it at least a couple more times than I've completed it, it's kind of like you get to this area and my knowledge and memory of the rest of the game is becoming hazier and hazier, because it's like, yeah, no, I've only gotten past this bit about once. Every other time I've sort of drifted away, as discussed previously, so I won't dwell too much on it, but as discussed previously, it's one of those ones where the first time ever when I played this game, I did not enjoy it. I did not like it. It was one of those ones, or rather, I suppose it's not 100% accurate. What it was more, I didn't get into it, which didn't help. And I found the battle system to be irritating, which didn't help. So basically there was many things that did not help its case when it came to enjoyment. But then I gave it a second go and I got really into it. And I sort of started understanding the nuances of the battle system, and therefore enjoyed it far more than I did the first time. Which is always quite nice. I've found that with a couple of games. What was that one? Last Remnant. That's one. That one I really quite enjoyed, but then the game essentially sort of soft locked me into an area which I wasn't expecting, of course, and it would have meant starting the entire game again if I wanted to try and get out of that situation, or beating a boss that my party members were entirely incapable of beating. So that was an issue. Although having said that, it's weird. I did discover later with Last Remnant, apparently all of the bosses and stuff scale with your level, which was very peculiar to me, because I deliberately trained for the boss fight that I was struggling with the first time I ever played it, and wasn't able to go back out and train and stuff previously, and managed to get past it with said training, despite the fact that obviously with the theory that everything scales to your level, that shouldn't have been the case. It should have been just as awkward and just as obnoxious, but still, managed to get through it. Don't know if I'd ever play Last Remnant again, though. It feels like the sort of game where it's like, yes, I did it. I can safely say I did it, but maybe not do it again. I don't know. Can't say for certain, because it's got a very unique battle system. If you've ever played The Last Remnant, it's got a very interesting and unique battle system where you're sort of repositioning people, and then you have little groups of people led by a key figure. Well, I suppose it has to be a key figure technically, but nonetheless, you have these little groups, and you sort of get them to do things, and you ask them to sort of come in and Vanille, of course. Yeah, so this guy, I think, is going to basically kill someone at every battle, because he seems to have that feeding maneuver that sort of swoops in and just damages us. Doesn't feel like that was worth the Christogen points I got from that, but never mind. I suppose we'll just have to carry on and think to ourselves, never mind. Probably the you little sluggy bastard. Have you ever encountered a sluggy bastard? Well, now you have met one. He's got a brightly coloured flower, but he's still a sluggy bastard. He turned around and he caught me. He caught me trying to sneak up on him. Alright, let's get some diversity. I need a cup of tea. Can you make me some diversity? That's right. I exchanged the tea and diversity for tea as in the cup of tea. It's a funny old world we live in, where you can exchange the words and try to make a funny. Go! Bully! 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 Could do with a haste on Vanille, there we go. That will up her speed at healing me, which I quite like the sound of. Please do heal me quick. Heal me slowly and heal a guy called Nick. I mean, it was a bit of a stretch, but it was better than just my first instinct, which was to just say, heal my dick. Because it was apparently to rhyme. I suppose I could have had tick, maybe. Don't know how I would have gotten that into a sentence, but yeah, the only word that ending in ick that I could think of for quick, I suppose arguably should have been heal me slowly, heal me quick, heal me when I'm feeling sick. That would have been much better, wouldn't it? And not absolute filth. But unfortunately, at the time, give me a word that ends in ick, and you will get back a rhyme that is distinctly to do with dick, because that's just where my brain goes. I'm not proud of it, I'm not pleased about it, but that is distinctly where it goes. It just goes straight down to the dick whenever a rhyme is required. Do 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 do. Oh dear, what can the matter be? Three fat ladies stuck on the lavatory. Come on, Vanille. Again, it could be well worth trying to get that. Yeah, do a little brief bullying session where hopefully what I'm after is just the haste on everybody, really. I quite like the fact that he is programmed to put haste on himself first, which means he does haste his own buffing capability. I think that's quite a well-designed bit of work in the battle system there. But I can't deny it. There's a part of me I almost wouldn't mind being able to customise that so that you could actually say, what I'd like you to do, Zaz. First priority is yourself. Second priority is a medic. And if you could name it in the, as the class, so it wouldn't matter who was the medic, just second priority is medic. And then your third priority is, the player, perhaps. But you can't set any of that in this. That's what I quite liked. One of the standout features of Final Fantasy XII? Yes, 12. I always get slightly confused because I don't want to accidentally be discussing the sort of MMORPG ones, which are Final Fantasy 11 and 14. Anyway, Final Fantasy 12's system is quite interesting because what they do in that system is they give you this thing called gambits, and basically it's pretty much just like programming bits and pieces, isn't it? Essentially, because what you do is you say if, and then you splice in a variable of some kind, and then you say do, and then you splice in what you want them to do, and then you splice in a target for what you want them to do it to. So a lot of it boiled down to if shit out of luck and dying, cast heal on whoever the fuck is dying. But yeah, it was a clever system, an interesting system that I think they could do with using more of. But I suppose, I don't know, I fear a lot of people sort of dismiss the idea of doing that sort of back-end admin. They just want the game to be sort of suited and booted and done immediately. They don't want to be faffing around with all that admin work. Oh no. Now, I think this is another one we've done, is it? Is this one we've done? I feel like we've swooped past here, so I would have expected us to have done this one. Yes, slain, marvellous. So, no, I don't want to reattempt it at the moment, thank you. I mean, I might end up doing some of the fights a second time, but I can't honestly imagine me having the urge to really do that. All I kind of feel like I want to do is just... I'll try and get through as many as possible, but you never know. There may be a point where I think I could do with some more CP. I'll try and improve the ratings. Screw it. Why not? Might as well. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll run Ruin onto the Munchkin, because then that should fill that extra gap. Although I suppose arguably I still probably... Oh, I'll just use Libra. I'm trying to make an excuse not to use the technique Libra because it costs me TP, but it kind of boils down to the fact that if I want all of the information, I might just use Libra. It's the quickest way, quickest and easiest method. But yeah, these guys are quite an interesting design, I think. They've got wheels, they've got a hole in their chest, and they've got sort of giant orbs for fists. They've also got, I mean, basically they've got fucking headphones on, aren't they? Yeah. They are just... I mean... Some of the designs in this game are kind of weird, but awesome. These guys, they're just plain weird. These munchkins. Because they've got, yeah, as I say, they've got like a giant mouth to nowhere. So that mouth's not doing anything. It's decoration only. Maybe attack, I suppose. Then they've got like almost built-in goggles. Giant balls for fists. They roam around on wheels, and they've got headphones on. It's just a weird monster. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like them, but they are weird. The weirdness factor does not change just because I actually quite like the design. Right, I think I got turned around just before that battle. That's fine, so we want to go this way? Is this a path I can actually take? Yes, it is. Wasn't sure if I'd gone the wrong way, but no. No, we are fine, yes indeed. Oh, here we go. Many munchkins make light work. Oh, I think they actually got the back attack on us. I don't think it makes much difference, but nonetheless, slightly alarming that they got the back attack on us. I like the phrase back attack, I don't know why. I discussed that in the previous one. I can't remember exactly what the phrasing was. But nonetheless, there's something oddly pleasing about the phrase back attack. Again, it's all about the way it sort of roams around the mouth as you say the words back attack. I like back attack, back attack, back attack, back attack. Attack of the backs with the back attack. We are going down the route of back attack, where we have to attack the backs with a back attack. Everybody's dying because I'm too busy enjoying the phrase back attack. The flak attack with the back attack. Flanking back with the back attack. There you go, Munchkins, no problem. Munchkins are meaningless to me. Again, in high enough numbers, they might cause problems, but to a certain extent, Blitz and the sort of area of effect spells we've now got, it's not going to take much to wipe those guys out. And I think if they get together in high numbers and bully one character, you can get in trouble, because they can just keep pummeling, and they will wipe someone out, but they're not troublesome too. They're not too troublesome at all. A-la-da-da, a-la-di-da, a-la-la-la. Come on, I want to get... Is that two? Is that both of them in one battle? Yeah, not keen on that. Especially, I don't know. I don't know for certain, but I am slightly concerned about the idea that those two can combine into something even bigger and nastier. Not convinced, because they're already pretty much the maximum big and nasty they can be, I think, but That doesn't necessarily fill me with 100% confidence at all. Okay, go on. Right, we've got some haste up in this house. I've got the haste house, hasted in the house. That's another enemy I hated. The old house in Final Fantasy VII Remake. Good lord, that was a pain in the arsehole. I did not enjoy it at all. And it was pretty much the one, if you've ever faced the house in Final Fantasy VII Remake, you may understand, but it's the one that kind of made me go, hard mode? No, thank you. I'm okay not doing hard mode after all. Oh, whoa, whoa, oh, vanille! Fuck's sake. God damn it, now I've gotten everything confused. Oh, fucking bun, fuck. Von Fuckington the Third, the Baron of Fucktown. It's because I got my bloody brain and hands all confused and muddled, and now I didn't get the back attack, so it's going to be even more difficult. Is this place... Oh no, I did get the back attack. Surprising. Is this place... I genuinely think this place might be called the Deep Goo. Which does kind of make you go... I don't think anywhere called the Deep Goo is a place you want to go to. You don't want to get that deep goo inside of you. Oh dear God, will you stop hitting me, please? Just for at least a moment or two, just stop hitting me. Good God, one of these guys is a problem. Two of them, flipping nightmare. Spellcasting. F-U-C-K-O-F-F. I don't think they ever tried that in the real Nightmare, did they? Oh, adventurers, you have to worry about this situation. Nah, we don't. Spellcasting. F-U-C-K-O-F-F. Oh, fuck's sake, I'm going to have to try and sentinel it, but I think I might be too late to actually get anywhere with it. Especially since they're not actually challenging, which is a nuisance. There we go, I've got one of them, but before I can actually start defending myself, I need to do the other one. And of course, it's now extremely risky. So, challenge and then entrench. Yeah, the challenge didn't go through, but I had to get the entrench going down, because otherwise we don't stand much of a chance. I don't know if we stand much of a chance at all. Oh, of course, physical attacks. Oh, Billy fucking bullshit. Yes, indeed. Come on. Stop doing me like this, game. Please stop doing it. God damn it, the challenge is just not working on these guys. I don't want entrench. Mediguard's probably... There we go, finally. Right. Now, finally, the Rock has come back to Narlines. And what the Rock is going to do is try and take down the giant killer tomatoes. Much like Day of the Triffids, that's another old B-movie type thing. As I say, I'm not entirely sure Day of the Triffids was an old B-movie, but nonetheless it's not hugely important. Do enjoy the fine print of that statement. One of those things where sometimes it's like, I need you to understand something, but it's not hugely important, so we just got to get through it. But yeah, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes was an old school B movie. Once again, not 100% certain where that originated, because I'm fairly certain there was a cartoon, there was definitely a film, but I don't know whether that all sort of stems from, again, it might all stem from a book. As often things do. It is rather frequent that most things that you see... I watch a lot of TV. Probably too much TV, in fairness, but nonetheless, we'll just go with I watch a lot of TV. And you often find a lot of these TV series have that little bit in the beginning credit sequence where it's based on a book by so-and-so. And it's like, yep, I bet if you read that book, nothing like it. But still, it's nonetheless mildly amusing to see it. And it really is like almost every single piece of media. I'm trying to fiddle with my headphones, which is proving awkward because I don't know why they don't want to sit in my ears. Not entirely sure why they don't want to. But in fairness, actually, I can fully understand the premise. I wouldn't want to sit in my ears either. If I was told, you've got to sit in your ear. Nah, you're right, thanks. I don't want to go into the deep goo. Probably able to relentlessly assault this guy for a little bit. How annoying is that noise? Very. Unlike the Phil Wang noise. That's that's a spectacular noise. It's a reference to Taskmaster for anybody slightly confused. God damn yous, please don't kill me now. No, just tiny little bit of health bar left. Don't you? He very much wanted to. You could see him thinking about it. He was thinking, I'd like to kill these people. I'm going to ruin his day. And then it's like, no. Oh, it's the deep gap. I misread the A and the P as two O's. It is not the deep goo. Although, having said that, the fact that we are going against quite such horrendously sort of gooey hybrid floras kind of does tell you that it is perhaps a little bit too much like the deep goo. Well, I'll tell you what, it's not quite 6 o'clock, but it's close enough. And that, I think, is going to be my arbitrary time to change the party. Also, I might have a pop at the Crystarium. You know what? Yeah, fuck it. Let's pop at the Crystarium. Brand new party. Boom. That's what we like to see. Let's shake it up. Oh, yes, baby. Shake, rattle, and a roll. I don't know why I needed the rattle, but the milkshake and the roll, they made for a lovely little lunch. I suppose the rattle was just for entertainment's sake. It entertained me by making a little rattling noise. Oh, a little light lunch with a little bit of light entertainment. That's what you want, sir. Might as well stick to making her super medic. Super duper medic. I mean, pretty much, the unfortunate thing with Vanille is she's kind of renegated to perma healer and almost sort of perma team, because unfortunately the boy I don't think can quite heal as well as Vanille can until later. I think she can to a certain extent, sort of just amount. No, what am I saying? I don't know. Hang on. The boy cannot heal as well as Vanille because Vanille runs away from his level of healing quite quickly. That's what we're trying to say. Right, carry on with Snow. What I might do... I think I might do a Lightning Snow combo. Mostly because they're the only ones in the team that haven't been in the team for a while. That's fairly crucial to the whole idea. Sorry, kid. I didn't mean to forget you. I just backed out too many menus. But I suppose, unfortunately, you are quite forgettable. Who are you? What's your name? And what are you doing here? I'm Hope. I'm hoping for the best, and I'm here 'cause everything went to shit in my life. Ah, that's nice. Sorry, who were you again? God damn it. I am Hope. And this is my story. No, it's not. Now, the big question. Do I want to be lightning? Or do I want to be snow? Now, I think, in fairness, the answer to that question is I want to be snow, but I kind of feel like I ought to be lightning for a little bit. But then again, we did do a lot of lightning. There was a lot of lightning. But we will have lightning in team, and I'm tempted to keep Vanille in there. Although, having said that, Synergist is a pretty darn good indeed. Yes, I don't know. Boy, Do you know the way to Amarillo? No. No, you do not know the way to Amarillo. Which is unfortunate. Yes. Can't deny that's where Zaz and Vanille. I mean, Zaz and Vanille basically make a perfect team. A diddle do, a diddle dum, a diddle dee, a diddle do. But I do want lightning in there. But I want Zaz in there. Shall we run around as Zaz instead of Snow? I do want a Sentinel though. Oh, buggering town of buggery. Oh, I'll leave it as this team for now. I'm taking too long to make a decision. Right, let's get rid of that and have Commando, Ravager, Medic. That's what we want, diversity. And now let's have Commando, Ravager and Saboteur. Yeah, that's a okay one. And then Sentinel, Medic, and maybe Medic, yeah, Combat Clinic. And then maybe Sentinel, Ravager, perhaps? No, but then again, maybe. No, I'll tell you what, maybe Commando and Saboteur. Dirty fine. You got yourself some dirty fighting right now. Alright, also, we did unlock at least one. I think it was only Vanille's. Yeah, there we go. Now, didn't you have something... Oh, was it the Tetradic Crown? No. Cast Faith, increase... Yeah. There was a immunity one I wanted, wasn't it? Immunity to something. Oh, was it that? No. Was it that? No. Was it that? No. No. Oh, was it that? No. Oh, was it that? No. Yes, no, not that. Yes, that. Resist fog with a white cape, please. Resist fog, 'cause I need you. I need you to be super duper magical. That's what I need. Right, there we go. We have ourselves a new team of people. So we'll have an extra save now. Replace Fang's portrait with Snow's. He is the man. Categorize that and then we'll up the Umbra. Would you like to see me put it up the Umbra? Oh yeah. Incentive chips, I think. Yeah, credit chips and incentive chips, I think, are designed for you to sell to get your cash money. Transparent ooze, murky ooze. I don't really have anything that appears to have high value. No, I really don't. Oh, yeah, well, that's disappointing, isn't it? I suppose maybe I could pop to the shop, see what I can find. Indeedy do. Lenora's garage. Scrap parts, you name 'em, we got 'em. New manual not included. With bargains like these, shops are all real. Are no match for Lenora's. Polymer emulsion. Paraffin oil. Turbojet. How much cash do I actually... Oh, 10,000. There we go. Well, we'll spend half of that on that. Fine. Sell. If I was to sell you my incentive chips... Oh, yes. Oh, that's 75 grand in the bank. I'm going to sell you my credit chips as well. Hoo-hoo, that's another 14 grand in the bank. That's what we'd like to see. Yes, indeed. We'll buy a couple of crankshafts, a couple of ring joints. That was weird. Oh no, that is the noise. Okay. I bought an extra one because I was confused by the noise effect. It sounded like one of a message or something coming in. Let's buy 5 more Phoenix Downs. Wax removes imperil. I don't use these items. Don't use them. Which means I might as well save for fancy shit that I can really get behind. Magic, moments, bar water, awful. You don't need bar water when the going, when the going gets tough. That might not be a terrible one, but we're a bit, I don't know, feels a bit late game to be bothering with that. Okay, so that's Monster Bits. Creature Comforts is quite a clever name, I quite like that. Oh, the Motherlode. Oh yes, that's the old stones, that's fine. So yeah, Lenora's Garage is probably the best one, possibly, I don't know for certain. But we'll have a look. We want to op my Umbra. And now categorize them is, whoops, eventually I'll get something. There we go, that's what we wanted. Nice chunky amount of experience. Still didn't go up as high as I was expecting it to, but it's nonetheless a chunky amount of experience. Right, what we want to do, I suppose, is pop in some of these little uns. That's it. See, that there is a degree of method to the madness that feels like this upgrade system. It just also feels like you do waste a lot of resources trying to do this upgrade system. The Axis Blade. Is that what I want? I don't know. Might be better just go back to the Gladius, truth be told, because much as it does do a little bit on the Gladius is so much better. So high, such high stats. That's garbage. That's not too bad. Yeah, 2,400. It didn't actually make it the way I thought it was going to make it. Well, a bugger here. Bugger. Maybe don't sing a song that has exclusively the lyrics buggery. I'm going to put her back on the Gladius, because I mean we've been dealing with not having boosts to the ATB gauge, so it's clearly not that required. Kind of perhaps a nice extra, but it's certainly not a requirement. And whereas having chunkier attacks, not strictly speaking a requirement, but far more pleasant. So we get a bit of a different style, of course, here, because now we're using our boy Snow, who's far more magical, and therefore, well, he's magical and physical. He will use a lot of strikes as well as stuff, but yeah, we're now focusing on being a Ravager for quite some time. He says immediately going into Commando, of course. Yes, I've done those two the wrong way round, really. Right, try and remember that when we get out of this battle. Shouldn't make too much difference in this battle, but Snow makes for a better Ravager. It's very much a simple fact. Therefore, I might as well try and embrace the idea of him being a better Ravager and therefore make him a Ravager at all times. Likewise, Lightning makes a better Commando. Again, grand scheme of things, probably won't make too much difference because I can probably still win the fight. But you might as well try at least to get in there with their sort of their best bits, as it were. What might be beneficial? I don't know who best to do this on. Weirdly, it'd probably be Lightning would be the best option, but it might be quite worth. It could be worth something to drop. Whoa! Combat Clinic, methinks. Challenge that tomato. You look like a Swede. Never say that to a tomato. But we'll just sort of stall a little bit with this class. I'm keeping a relatively close eye on the gauge at the top. and hoping I can still take advantage of it. There we go, good. I didn't want to leave it too long, because otherwise that stagger gauge would have been lost. And as it was quite high, it would have been quite a devastating situation where it's like, no, why did I let the stagger meter disappear? Sometimes you don't have much choice, but on that occasion, careful attention is inevitably the way to do. Oh, god damn it. I mean, well, we don't have to win this, Snow, but it would be nice, certainly. I'm not gonna deny you that fact. I'm gonna have a closer look at Umbra, because I can't remember what Umbra's offering me. I mean, certainly it's quite a nice... It's a nice enough symbol. I quite like it. But I just wonder what it is actually offering me, if it is beneficial or not so much. Because it's about this point in time where I need to try and start sort of settling on weapons. So improved ward enhances the effectiveness of death ward and fringe ward. So improved guard, Mediguard and steel guard, power circle, just straight up, yeah, straight up strength. That one. The Feymark. Oh, the Feymark was the shit one, wasn't it? Yes. Paladin, Wild Bear. Let's have a look at what those abilities are offering me. So Fringe Ward reduces nearby years. That might be quite good. And Death Ward, yeah, again for when he's the Sentinel, I think that's probably going to be the better option. So that's I will leave him using that. And as I say, what is quite beneficial. Do we want to? No, I think we might as well just stick to him being a Ravager for the most part. For the entirety, yeah. He doesn't really... Commando doesn't... Commando's fun with Snow, because he gets to just punch things, but it's one of those age-old ones where it's like, well, does he actually need it? And the answer is a resounding sort of, no, well, nah, not really. He's a better Ravager, therefore he might as well ravage. He's ravaging as opposed to ravishing. I'm sure there's a joke in there somewhere. I just can't quite get what is it? Yes, brand new language, and in that language that was an epic joke. Everybody laughed. Why aren't you laughing? Remember, if everybody else laughs, that's your cue to laugh as well. Hee hee ho ho ha ha tee hee hee. Would you like a little bit of tea in your hee hee tea? Oh, I don't know if I want that. Right. As is so often the way, we've hit about the sort of... we've hit about the mark where I've run out of shit to stay. So we're very much in the sort of just noises territory now. Let's get to diversity. Get to diversity. Oh, fuck. Maybe get the Snow being alive part out. That would have been quite useful. I think I target priority was wrong. I think the all runes are probably the better thing to crack on first. Ah, did it? Did it? Did it? Yeah, it did. You little bastards. Because they do quite... Oh, I think I was already focusing on them. Oh, okay, well, maybe that wasn't the issue after all. Because I didn't change the opening target, so the fact that the opening target was the all runes very much tells me that I was already focused on them, and it still didn't do me any real favours. Okay, you've got weakness to that, it's fine. So you're doing the right thing, Snow. It just didn't go so well. So maybe I just got unlucky and everybody attacked Snow. This is where I believe I have discussed this in the past as well, but being a player-controlled Sentinel is a dangerous premise. Because, of course, basically what you're doing is you're saying, all of the enemies target me! And if you die, that's the battle done and dusted. So it's almost better not to be a player-controlled Sentinel, which is unfortunate for me, of course, because naturally my favourite is Snow. I say naturally, if you don't know my penchant for the lengthy tan coat, you wouldn't necessarily know it was naturally, but nonetheless, my favouritism towards Snow does make it slightly difficult. And in fact, I'd probably say my second favourite character, I think it's probably Zaz, in fairness. I like Zaz. I do enjoy Zaz. He's a good character, I think. He hides his sort of pain behind humour, and that A, makes him quite funny, and B, makes him quite a deep character, I think, personally. But yeah, I do enjoy Zaz. So I think, yeah, I think it's probably Snow's my favourite character, followed by Zaz, followed by Fang. And this is sort of personality and design more than actual function in battle, I'm not going to lie. In terms of functionality in battle, Lightning's probably one of the better ones because she's just strong. She just whacks things and things die from the whackage. But in terms of like personality, design of character and general style, Snow's definitely my favourite. They're followed by Zaz, followed by Fang. Then probably Vanille. Yeah, I think Vanille slightly outranks the others. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll put Lightning and Vanille in joint 4th place, I think, at this point. And then, unfortunately, I mean, the boy plays a reasonably important role in the game. He's just a bit shit, though, isn't he? He's just a little bit shit. Oh, yes, he is. Well, I'm slightly surprised we got the back attack there, since I definitely didn't hit them in the back. But they seem to be sort of offline until I strolled up to them, so that probably helps out significantly. Carry on punching, yeah. That's all you can really do as Snow. But you can sort of see where that bias of mine leads me, which is A, being Fang for quite some time, being Snow for quite some time. I'll probably be Zaz for quite an extended period. Whereas you will almost never find me voluntarily being the boy. Because the boy sucks big cock. And in fairness, most cocks are big to him because he's only a little boy. He's little Hope best time. A little Hope. Oh! For starters, I want to know what he's boogieing on down to. But also, stick a record on one of their heads and a couple of wing things, and suddenly they're a whole new monster. I think I may have back attacked again, though, because they are really slow on the uptake. It is quite incredible. Oh, the Munchkin Maestro. We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful wizard of Oz. Come on. Goblin Enhancement? Oh, my. Never answer an email if they're offering you Goblin Enhancement. Because that's something you don't want in your life. It is a con. It's a trick. I'll tell you what I should do. I should Libra the Maestro. Let's see him a little bit more. Yeah, he's got sort of extra wing things and a record on his head, and he is, I think, pretty much going to have the same weaknesses and resistances. He's just a slightly chunkier version of the Munchkin, I think. Nothing too spectacular from him. 35 seconds. Not bad. Not bad at all. Now, oh no, there's a waystone there. Cool. I was going to say, am I going to regret the decision to have come all this way? Because I'll suddenly discover the fact that this is entirely the correct way and there's no more Grand Pulse. But I think there's certainly an extra gubbins there, so we'll probably end up backtracking a little bit, if not substantially.
You know, I gotta say, this is weird.
Which bit? Because we were we were turned into Lassie. We've now got magical powers. We can summon Eidolons.
Waltzing back into Erba with the very people we were chosen to take up arms against.
Yeah, back then we never would have helped you guys. Oh,
Well, right. Back then is when you got your first focus, so...
right. We already talked a bit about that, huh?
A little bit.
Must have been centuries ago now, when me and Fang joined the battle against Cocoon. During the fight, I became Ragnarok and cracked Cocoon's shell.
That must have been hard on you going through that.
The memories, they're all pretty fuzzy.
Cocoon's version of the War of Transgression must have been built up around what you two did.
I didn't do anything. I just got turned to crystal, and I can't even remember why that happened. Don't even have the memories to show for it.
It's all my fault. So many people died because of me.
It's over. Those souls can rest.
Right, let's do what I was going to do before they took the cutscene. Before they inserted a cutscene in me. We are saving a little game. Oh yes we are. Okay, so there's a gubbins at the back there and a gubbins here, so we'll probably do... We're looking for number 6 ideally, I believe. Are you number 6? You are number 6! Good. Okay, at last. Reason to be thankful for the gift of Lassie power. I am charged with slaying a Munchkin Maestro, the very creature which brought devastation upon the home I left behind. Don't know how I've gone into Welsh, but it's not actually that bad. I didn't even mean to do it. I mean, it's still quite shitty impression, but still. Sort of accidentally slipped into Welsh. When I have put an end to this demon... Now I'm trying. Nothing. When I have put an end to this demon and saved the village, please bear with my crystal to the forum. There I shall rest, never to leave my beloved home again. Hey! Right, let's kick the shit. Oh, kick the shit out of this guy. Where is the Goblin Maestro? Okay, it's back there. Also, we came all this way out here to check this area here, and then our mission takes us all the way back here. This area, it's like, this area is quite bad, I think. Really. Maybe I'm just being unreasonable and unfair to the game, I don't know, but it is just a bit of a sort of... It's a trudge fest, where you're trudging through, going one place to the next, to the next, to the next. And I know technically you're always going from one place to the next, to the next, to the next, but it never feels quite as sort of backtracky anywhere else in the game, because everywhere else in the game is distinctly linear. So it always feels like you're going forwards, because you are. Whereas this one, they've opened it up in some ways, but also in others it's been made worse, because you're sort of you're trundling along sort of, and then it goes, just go back now. Why not go all the way that way in the first place? Just for a little quick cutscene. And it's like, no, do better game. But I suppose in fairness they did, because they came back from Final Fantasy 13, 13.2 and 13.3. They came back with Final Fantasy 14, which I think is probably one of the better MMORPGs on the market today. Sponsored! No, distinctly not. I can't imagine anybody sponsoring this shite. But nonetheless, Final Fantasy 14 is one of the better MMORPGs I think in existence today. I'm biased because, of course, I love all the little Final Fantasy extras that go into it that only a Final Fantasy game can really have. So the fact that I can't remember if it's, I don't think it's quite when you level up, but, or is it? It might be when you level up, maybe, I don't know. But nonetheless, they've got the victory theme in there, which was very much, you know, made me giggle with glee. Yay! And do whatever that noise is classified as. I don't know whether that's giggling or not. I'm fairly certain it's not giggling. just a strange noise. But yeah, all the things that make it Final Fantasy are the bits that make me think it's better than most other MMORPGs, which is possibly unreasonable and unfair, but nonetheless the truth. And then Final Fantasy 15 was, I mean, it was pretty incredible, to be honest. It was a very good game. People do critique one chapter, though, but I think they're supposed to have patched that and made it better or some such, but I can't remember. I never really noticed, and I you know, it's one of those oddities where everybody always complains about it, and I'm just looking at the complaints going, I don't remember this. So, and it's difficult to know for certain whether it's just a case of I don't remember it because they'd patched it to a new state before I ever experienced it, or I don't remember it because it's not half as bad as anybody made out. But I suppose arguably a lot of the time you find with games journalism, sometimes they just have to find a story, and sometimes that story is just not really quite as bad as they make out, but they have to make it sound like it's a big deal, otherwise nobody would care. If they just turned around and went, yeah, I mean, it's mildly inconvenient section, but it don't last long, and we got through it happily enough. That doesn't sound quite as good as, oh, it's the worst thing ever. Nobody enjoys it. Everybody hates it. It's terrible. So much so they had to patch it out. So yeah. It's just one of those things, I suppose. They have to make things sound more dramatic to appeal to people. To get the people to come in and do the stuff with them. Yes, your goblin enhancement is meaningless if I kill the goblin you've enhanced. Perfect situation for me. Let's get a little diversity up in here. Get your diversity on. Yeah. Come on, keep punching. I don't want to see you running out of punches. So interestingly enough, I think if you look very carefully when lightning's attacking, it's very difficult to catch, and I've not really been looking. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Wasn't the 5th attack I was expecting, but nonetheless, she now has 5 attacks. Because if you noticed earlier, I didn't highlight it when I did it in the Crystarium, but if you notice, I did unlock Lightning's ATB segment, which means she's now rocking where you've got that middle bar, well, middle, about a third of the way up. That's the ATB bar for anybody new and unsure. That's the ATB bar, and so she's now got 5 of those segments rather than the 4 that Snow is rocking, which is why she's got 5 attacks. If all 5 hit on the same target, what it is she sort of strokes the blade 4 times, I believe, and then she sort of backs off, does a backflip, transforms the blade into the gun blades, or the gun of the gun blade form, and shoots the monster, which I think is quite nice. It's quite an interesting way of doing things. A full men ring. My ring is full of men, and I didn't invite them, so I'm slightly concerned. Oh, why is my ring full of men? Full of men. What does it do? Ah, of course, lightning. Because, yes, full... I'm assuming full men itself is probably something to do with lightning, but yeah, you often see, like, full... I don't know exactly what it means, but there must be some originating Latin phrase, perhaps, that's to do with it, and therefore full is lightning-based. It's weird what you can learn just by reading shit in video games, and then, I suppose, seeing the patterns across different video games. But yeah, Mithril Bangle, I think, is better than the Gold Bangle, isn't it? Yes, it is. Have that. And now let's have a look at anyone else rocking a bangle. I knew you were rocking a bangle, but we will check anybody else. Yes, okay, so... Oh, well done, oh, well done. You're getting upgraded. You go... Where the bloody hell is it? There we go. Oh, unless that's a downgrade. No, it's not. Platinum Bangle. Oh, interesting. Platinum. Oh. Oh, I see. Hang on. Oh, you have a Gold Bangle, and then... My boy Snow. Is that better than or worse than a Platinum? Oh, Platinum's better. Oh, I have a platinum then. You have a platinum. And then you have a gold and a tungsten. No, tungsten you've already got. Silver. Wait, what? Oh, wait, no. Okay, now I'm getting confused. Okay. Let's go back to snow and try and figure out which one's the better one. So that is raising by 400. That is raising by 150. What's the other one doing then? The tungsten. 150. 250. Right. So, tungsten's 150. Interestingly enough, the silver bangle would get the physical wall, which is weird. Mithril, however, mithril is better. But platinum is better than mithril. God, I'm getting confused. Yes, platinum is better than mithril. Mithril is better than everything else. Gold is better than everything else. Cool. We now have a decision on our health bonus items. What I need to do, the easiest way of doing this, is let's get in and start sorting out some of this stuff in categorizing order. There we go. That should make my life a little easier. Oh yes. What I'll try and do is just go like that, like that, like that. There we go. That should clear my inventory of exclamation marks. And that is what sometimes I like to see. Oh yes, yeah. Got the back attack. That's what we like. Yes, indeed. So what's quite interesting, with of course 5 ATB segments, you can do sort of two blitzes and a standard attack, which is quite good. Basically, figure out what you can do with 4 and then add 1. I realise it's yeah, but it is that simple. I know, this is why I'm such a professional, because I'm always giving out the hot tips. Hot tips. Think about what you can do with 4 ATB segments, and then add 1 of the ATB segments, and just think you've got 1 more ATB segment. Whoa! That's your best top. That's one of your top tips from me. You'll thank me when you're playing the game. Yes, indeed. Spined horn. I've got a spiny horn, which is why I have to be careful, because it tends to... Let's not go down that path, shall we? even I'm looking at that path going, nah, I think it's best to avoid that one. I think we'll go back to town and try again in the morning and see what happens. We'll try and find a different road. The road not taken is the one which is possibly better in this situation. Goblin Huntsman. He's gobbling. He's gobbling like this. Every day he's gobbling. He's gobbling down the hot facts. The hot facts are of... I don't know, what sort of hot facts would you be gobbling down? I suppose technically I gobble down a hot fact every day because I follow QI on Twitter, and they usually do a hot fact or two. Although some of their facts are like, oh, really? That sounds like a shit fact that didn't need to be stated. Whether it is or is not a fact is not necessarily the point I'm making there. It's some of them just nobody needed that fact. And I don't even mean in a sort of that's a weird fact sort of way, in a just you've just sparked issues in your tweet responses there, haven't you? Not, I don't know. It feels like a wasted tweet if all you're doing is sort of trying to spark controversy. Controversy. If all you're trying to do is spark a little bit of Sean Connery's controversy, welcome to Sean Connery shares controversy for at least half an hour. Controversy. Sean Connery didn't tend to sort of break towards the end of the word, though, did he? Controversy. Maybe he would if you asked him nicely enough. So you may be wondering why I'm going back this way. There's another doodad in the thingy. And everybody should know that I do like doodads in my thingy. No, there's another Seath Stone at the back of this area. And I'm loosely assuming that's probably number 7? 7. I can't guarantee it, but I'm thinking that's number 7. It depends on how much of a shit kicking I get when I go against this next group of enemies. Because if I get very little shit kicked out of me... Oh, hello. A little bit fast there. But see, these are those things, but they're Nilapsi, so they look similar, but they aren't actually the same creature that really beat on me as part of the hunts. So I think... It's difficult to say at this early stage. We're sort of... I think we're relatively even. I don't think it's doing anything too nasty to me. So, I think we're okay wandering around this area. I mentioned last week you do have to just be that little bit more careful in this open field. Because you never know quite what's gonna decimate you in a second or two. As we saw, in fairness, we saw that earlier on with that Behemoth, because it was like, yeah, they seem to be, oh, I'm now dead immediately, cool. Because especially that's the worst one. When they give you, it's the Batman theory. The Batman Dark Knight Rises theory. The game gives you a little bit of hope, and then it's far more pleasurable when it crushes that hope beneath its boot. Because the game knows you've gone into the battle unprepared, and the game understands this. And the game enjoys it when it realises, yes, I gave you some hope that you could win this fight by giving you a couple of rounds where you didn't die. Ha ha ha. Except the one thing you don't know. I'm about to crush you. I'm gonna crush your spirit and I'm gonna crush your soul. And then I might even crush your everything. That's the wrong way. I thought it was a different path up, but it wasn't. That's fine. I'm just desperately trying to make sure I haven't missed any treasure chests. I don't really think there's that many secret treasure chests lying around much in this place, but, you know. Still like to be relatively diligent in my efforts. Oh, no, they did catch me. I thought I'd just stepped outside of their purview, but no. Unfortunately, that's... Did I Libra you? Yes, I did. So let's tackle the dude I've Libra'd and know I can befriend. Very nearly said no I can befriend, yes. Let's tackle this guy. I know I can befriend him somehow. No, I know I can defeat him somehow. Because we've already defeated a bunch of them. Whereas these other two, well, I mean, they could be a problem. But what we'll do is try and win against this Nips. What are they? Nips? Nips. I don't know, it's dead now, so... It's not gonna make any difference what it's fucking called. Tax him. I do plan to tax him. How much do you think I'm allowed to tax him? I'm gonna say 16.5%, isn't it? That's VAT. I might be mistaken. It's been a while since I've considered how much VAT tax actually is. Not that I've ever really considered it that much, but I believe VAT is somewhere in the vicinity of 16, but I might be mistaken nowadays. That may have been what it was years and years ago and is no longer the case. Let's tax. Oh, tax him. Quite glad we actually don't have a tax him. I said tax him. I'm making the link there, but the enemies, of course, are lettered. And if we had tax him that would mean we've had a lot of enemies in this fight. You can get that. Some of those enemies that can summon other enemies in, if they're summoning their own kind, granted, if they sort of summon one of the big chaps, that tends to be sort of, they only get to do that once, and therefore you only get sort of Oogaloo, you know, singular Oogaloo or something. But if they are sort of summoning themselves, you can start sort of getting A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, and they do start sort of ramping up quite quickly in the letters, because they don't... I think even if you start defeating like A, B, C, if they're summoning new ones, I think they'll still come in as the higher up letter. I don't know. So I'm just kind of filling the void. The void of silence. Oh no! He stopped me! Don't do that. Kind of ruins my fun. How dare you? How dare you ruin the fun? When the fun stops. Stop. That's not the way I roll. When the fun stops, you swear your tits off, then you carry on, obstinately trying to get stuff done, despite the overwhelming amount of shit you possess. Tear of remorse. Oh, I feel so remorseful. Thank you for your tears, your hot little tears. A tear of remorse, a beautiful, virtually flawless crystal that stirs feelings of regret. And that regret is having stolen a tear from a big, chunky stone man. He did not deserve a beating. No, he didn't. No, I know he didn't. No, no. Are you number 7? Yes. Bituitous? Bituitous, maybe? The undying, fearsome Seath who defy falsy will, driven by an intense loathing of all that lives. My God, I didn't know I was in this game. The pillager, Bituitous, is of their number, and it is my fate to seal his. Villagers that survive the war remain unsafe, for his path of destruction sweeps through them all. Even my own fell before him. The demon is said to make his fastness in the Padrean Archaeopolis, but he will find no sanctuary from me there. Amazing I managed to get through the words Padrean Archaeopolis, but couldn't get through the word find and know. It's amazing sometimes how my lack of capability manages to make a mockery of me. Oh yeah. Okay, so I think that's telling me he's here. He's here! Oh, I should have defeated all the enemies first. I didn't realise they were all going to disappear based on my accessing this guy. Oh well, never mind. I suppose it doesn't matter. Not really. Not really at all. It makes little to no difference to my situation. Oh no, that's intriguing. There's little ones there. I wonder if they are actually going to be a series of extra quests. I mean, I can't see a reason why they wouldn't be, but they are tiny. Tiny little things. Have you seen my tiny little thing? I mean, in fairness, if I went out gardening, you might do, because apparently, another weird thing I noticed on Twitter, but apparently it's Naked Gardening Day. So, make of that what you will. Supposedly you're supposed to pop out literally and figuratively in terms of going out in the garden. But yeah, you're supposed to pop out into the garden, pop your togs off, get your todger out, and do some gardening. Of course, it feels oddly dangerous to go out and do naked gardening. Of all the tasks you can do naked, gardening seems like an unwise one. Because it's kind of like, oh, just, spiky bushes, shears. Don't want to be playing around with shears whilst naked. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's very much a way of sort of avoiding chopping off your private parts with shears, but I imagine it's quite easy to avoid chopping off your private parts with shears. Just don't trim anything near your private parts. But nonetheless, it does seem like an unwise case of affairs where it's like, really, do you really think it's worthwhile bothering to do gardening in the nude just to do some kind of naked gardening day? Luckily, I didn't need to do any gardening today, so right, ruthless. I think we want. Because I can't buff myself, but I can try and debuff you. Yeah, okay, so if I can get Imperil on him, that will help me out quite substantially. Although, unfortunately, no, okay, let's get double medic for a moment or two while I just think about my actions. Good, challenge. Oh yeah, I was going to try and explain what I do as Snow Sentinel mode, or it was actually as Fang Sentinel mode. I was supposed to be explaining it, but nonetheless, one of the things you can do is with that challenge. It's not a guarantee, unfortunately. It's quite annoying in that sense, but not a guarantee. However, if you spot that it does happen to work on the first go, you can, if you push the circle or B button, in my case it's a B button, on PlayStation it would be the circle button, the cancel button I suppose essentially would be a better way of putting it. But nonetheless, you pop the old cancel button and that will eliminate the commands you've got left on the bar, and then you can have slightly more ATB the next turn when you sort of prep the rest of the attacks. So if you do ever find yourself playing Final Fantasy XIII and you do want, that's a genuine top tip I suppose arguably, and you do find yourself playing as a Sentinel and you want to go, oh he's challenged, if you're quick, doesn't always work out in your favour, but if you're quick, what you can do is you can pop that little cancel button, get back to the menu, choose your guard stance a little bit earlier, because all you need is to make sure it is challenging you, and that's it. Basically all you have to give any level of shit about. Otherwise you will basically be wasting a couple of challenges. As I say, sometimes it's too difficult to get it to go in your favour. So, oh dear, this is bad news bears. Yep. Oh, God damn it. Okay. Techniques. Renew. Please don't dice. No. Thank you. I think it does help. If you're ever in doubt, if the situation looks bad and you think you might die, shout don't. And sometimes the game decides to do you good. But right, there we go. See what I mean? There, I spotted within the first 2 challenges, I'd gotten the challenge off. So, boom. Cancel them, get a couple of Medigards up, and running. Well, I must admit, I suppose arguably, was he immune? No, halved to physical damage, so might be worthwhile. Oh, he's been stopped. Okay, that's not great news. Yeah, this miasma thing, I mean, it could fuck off, couldn't it? It could fuck off. Let's commando, please. Lightning, 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 lightning. Quickly, quickly. Thank you. Well done, lightning. Well done. Right. Now we just need to survive long enough. There we go. Thank God for that. Whew. They do like to sort of pull a bit of bullshit towards the low end of the health bars. Which I suppose is only natural. It's kind of like, you're doing well. Not anymore. But they do like to sort of start going really fast. Ooh, the R&D depot. Interesting. Nice. And 5-star rating. Nice. And the title, Archaeopolitan Idol. Cool. All good things. Also, he's apparently... Oh, is he going to flare them up? Well, there you go. I did say, did they have any significance? Apparently, yes, they do. I don't know what. Oh, that's interesting. And new and different and weird. And I don't know if I like it. Because of all of those reasons. What we got? I'm not sure. Do I touch it? Do I touch it? I don't know if I touch it. It's kind of here. It's kind of there. But I don't know what it does. And I can't say I remember it. So I'm not sure. Oh, I'm not sure what it does. Oh, no, I'm not. So this one's theoretically done, right? Because basically it relates to here and Slain. Yeah, cool. No, I would not like to reattempt it right now. Thank you very much. But yeah, I mean, it's lovely. I don't have any other sort of interact functionality. So if there's not an actual interact prompt, I don't know of anything else I can do with it. But I don't recall it. So for now we'll leave it. There's a teleport right next to it, so if something else crops up that feels like it makes that pertinent, then obviously we can pop back and deal with it. Or if I end up thinking, what did that do? What did it do? I don't know what it did. What did it do? I might end up popping up on the internet and having a look up, see if there is something pertinent and interesting I'm supposed to be doing with it. But at this exact moment in time, I don't know of any real pertinence or interesting stuff I need to worry about there. Okay, so I do have now an active sort of pair of Seath Stones there, but yeah, the problem is I don't have an active Seath Stone next to where I would need to be going. So it does feel like it'd probably be easier just to walk. Which, again, I will reiterate how sort of back and forth trudging around this area is. Because now this is the... It's going to be the second, third... Depends on precisely how you define how far I've been going. Because obviously we came from where I've just come from down here to do a Maestro. And then in order to do the other one, we came all the way back to the other way. Now we're going all the way back this way. It's incredibly sort of go here, now go all the way back here. And as much as there is teleportation around, as we've just discovered, there's perhaps not enough fast-travelling teleportation around, which kind of equates to you have no choice. You are walking backwards, you are walking forwards, you are walking back to where you just came from, you are walking back to where you've been there. Very back and forth. I think in the not too distant future we will be getting Vanille's Eidolon, but truth be told, I think that's a ways off potentially. If I play it the way I will probably end up playing it, which is doing as many of these little side quests as possible. I know there's some people out there who do not like side quests, but me, you give me a side quest and I'll give you a completed side quest as best I can. Can't always do every single side quest, because you'll note eventually we'll start coming towards enemies in these side quests that are just too much for me to manage. It would require sort of... the problem is it would require slightly more time invested in than I would be willing to provide it, because you would need to start maxing out your crystariums and stuff, getting them max in all sorts of bits and pieces, probably doing almost a scientific process of accessories and scientifically doing their upgrades on their weapons in a sort of precise fashion that gets you exactly what you need to get in terms of sort of max stats and stuff. And it's just like, nah. As much as I love Final Fantasy games, I'm kind of, I suppose, a bit too much of a sort of I just like the story. I just like to do the story, play the base game, and then move on, rather than, you know. I want to be one of the few people who've beaten the Emerald Weapon. I'm going to do... I don't know, I shouldn't really do that voice, because it's quite insulting, I think, isn't it? For anybody who has bothered doing the Emerald Weapon, it is quite the feat, so I should perhaps not diminish their feat by ridiculing them with a stupid voice. But I'm going to! No, I won't. But yeah, it is just, it's one of those ones where some people do actually quite enjoy maxing levels and then having the accolade of being able to say, yes, I did this. Whereas I find myself a bit more sort of like, yeah, I prefer to just experience a brand new game, thanks. Rather than just dedicating the entirety of my time into sort of max leveling your characters. Laziness, I think they call it. And 4 stars, 1600 CP. It's always good. I suppose to a certain extent, I'm saying about back and forth. It's not. I mean, it is quite bad in terms of trudging around aimlessly. Well, I say aimlessly. Technically, there's a perfect aim, and the perfect aim is to get to the next checkpoint. But I can't deny it. There is some benefit to it, of course, which is getting a load of experience, or crystal points in this case. It's not technically experience in this game. It's all about the crystal points. Yes, indeed it is. Oh, yeah. It's all about the crystal, baby. Well, what's the crystal, baby, got to do with it? Everything. Who is the crystal baby? I don't know. But I think you might have put forth that your child's gonna be a stripper. by naming them Crystal. How about it? I don't know. That's probably unfair. I'm sure there's plenty of very perfectly pleasant people. Both, I suppose, arguably, I was almost going to insult strippers there, but I won't. I'll try and avoid it wherever possible. Perfectly pleasant people called Crystal and perfectly delightful strippers called Crystal, I'm sure. A name doth not define your entire being. Although it does define at least a part, doesn't it, really? If you were called Silly Bugger McFucker a lot, you'd probably be a little bit sort of... That would probably start defining your life, wouldn't it, really? Hey, Silly Bugger McFucker lot. Do you want to do something today? I don't know where I'm going with this, I'll just stop. Ba-ba-ba-do-do-do-do-boo. 5-star baby. Why's it always got a bad baby? I don't know. 5-star toddler. No, that sounds wrong. I changed my mind. That's a bit more. There we go. I thought I could get the back attack on one of the slugs, and then I thought, nah, that big old tomato fucker. Are you a tomato fucker? Yep. My fine, nice and soft and squishy. That's just what I've been looking for. Horrendous. Absolutely, yeah. Well, I probably shouldn't be left alone. But there you go. Never mind. Anyway, yeah, I was basically going to describe exactly what you saw, so I won't bother, shall I? We'll move swiftly on. Moving swiftly on to something completely different. Would it be a man with 3 buttocks? You see, that's the only thing. Come on, let's get some sabotage in here. Sabotage by the Beastie Boys. That's what we wanna see. Sabotage and Impero for me. Everything for you. Solidarity was not the one I intended to do. Diversity, please. Because we're not quite at the sort of death's door point of Sentinel requirement. It's not. I mean, I do use it quite a lot actually, but it's not. You know, really needs to be reserved for when you're absolutely screwed. At the moment, we're not 100% screwed. It's usually when all 3 health bars start getting a bit screwed over. But then again, arguably, when all 3 health bars get screwed over, Sentineling is not necessarily going to help you out that much because you're already at low health. But always troublesome. If you think you're safe in one direction, then the game will screw you in another direction. Ah, God, do we gotta do the double whammy again? I suppose I could probably, if I was feeling, if I really gave a shit, I feel like I could probably muster the ability to just sort of skip past them, but I don't know. I'm far more of a sort of just go through the bastards. Just go through the bastards, innit? I swear far too much. I should try to stop, but I don't. Oh well. Suppose that's why I should perhaps use this sort of time for self-reflection. I'll just go and get a mirror. Ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Funny jokes. Funny jokes. As opposed to what I was thinking earlier, which was I don't know if I'm bothered. Sentinel is just not working. Go back to diversity. Oh, did we? No, we didn't kill. I thought we'd killed one for a minute. It's just he changed target when he tried to sort of. Fuck's sake. Vanille, please. Would you? What'd you get? On with healing. I think we might have to go combat clinic. The problem is getting them challenged is just... They don't like it. They do not like being challenged. Or at least they won't actually be challenged. There we go. Right. Medigard is probably the better. Whoa there. I didn't quite get the timing right. But yes, earlier on today I was thinking of jokes, and I was thinking of the phrase funny joke. Funny joke! Funny joke. And then I thought to myself how the amount of times I was saying it, it started sounding like something else. And so I said, what did one vagina say to the other vagina? It's not important, but it is a fanny joke. Fanny joke! Funny fanny joke. There you go. Not. The only problem with that, of course, it's not that funny. But yeah. Sometimes you just have a go, don't you, really? Don't you? Doesn't have to be good, it can just be shit sometimes. Oh, that's the wrong thing. That's why that's gone horribly tits up. In fact, I think this fight in general has probably gone horribly tits up, because we're now targeting the wrong bastard, which is not going to help me. If we can take advantage of this stagger meter, we might just about manage to win this fight, but it's going to be probably 0-star again, as is so often the way. This is the way. It's not the way. The way is over there, and you don't seem to be following it. Right, just trying to get imperil. Wouldn't go miss, would it? Oh, actually, it's either already. Oh, it's already imperiled. That's why. Get back to diversity. Come on, Vernier, we need you to do the healing. Yes, please do us some healing. Always do of the healing. Top Knight might be worthwhile. Yeah, I'm wondering if that Sentinel one, the Sentinel and 2 medics, I'm wondering if it would be better to do Commando and 2 medics. Because it would just keep that stagger meter sort of just nicely sort of chugging away without losing it too much, which is kind of what you need. Always be focusing on the stagger meter. It'd also probably be more sensible to bring in Zaz, really, because not having the ability to buff myself is it's pretty bad. But there you go. Combat clinic. Discretion is a Punchy McGurk's best friend. He has a chance. He pops out to the bar and he says, "Are you coming, Discretion?" But Discretion doesn't answer him. It's because it's another attempt at a joke. Very nearly, very nearly. Oh God, it'd be so much better if this was actually entertaining instead of tedious turd. But there you go. It's only got about 20 minutes left, so I'm sure you can survive 20 more minutes of random chatting to fill the void of silence and try to just get through the game. Maybe silence would be better. Ba 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 ba, he says immediately, ba ba barring. Yes. But maybe it would be better if we just had silence. Maybe I should figure out a way of getting the live stream of me just typing in the corner like my YouTube videos. The sassy corner box taking the piss. Unfortunately, it's very difficult to do that live. Because obviously I can't really be playing the game, talking about the game, and then sassily texting in a box about the game. The orphan munchkins of the valley were enjoying a game of who's going to get adopted next when suddenly 3 adventurers came and sliced the living shit out of them. And I'm assuming that was supposed to be orphan munchkins then. I wasn't entirely sure if it was or wasn't for a moment, and then I understood the adopted reference. Fractured horn. Oh no. Oh, matron. Surprisingly close. Hello. Here we go. Here we go. 1 mile away, so I'm guessing. Yes, it's fair enough.
I won't.
Do,
I know my
do,
limits, unlike some people.
do.
Now who's the tough guy?
Yeah, now he's suddenly forgiven Snow for killing his mother. Whoa! Hey, that's the big fella. I think we do fight that, maybe? Possibly now.
What was that?
A Grand Pulse Falsi.
Ah.
Used to see it flying around all the time.
And they said it had a home. Somewhere near Amber.
So that's good news, right? If we stay on its tail, we should end up in your village. Let's follow it.
Right.
Is it really sensible? Giant beastie? It has a home, let's invade it. Yeah, pretty much. It has a home, let's go to its home and kick the shit out of it. Are we the bad guys in this? Definitely. The amount of people and monsters that we've killed. Oh, the number is immense. We just enjoy killing things. It's our weakness, oh yes indeed. Oh, it is exactly that. Right, so I don't think there's any point in going... Oh, no, that is definitely no point in going back there, because we've literally just been there. No point in going back that way, so I think, yeah, we'll just carry on walking. Carry on walking now. It was one of the less successful Carry On films. As much as they stripped a woman barely clothed... I suppose arguably that's a bit redundant, isn't it? Stripped a woman who's barely clothed. As much as they did, you know, employ a barely clothed woman to just do a load of walking, just didn't seem to catch the same sort of attention, because it really was just a barely clothed woman walking forever. You know. Eventually, after like an hour, you just sort of felt sorry for her, and you just thought, do you know what? We really ought to put some shoes on you. If you were planning on doing that much walking, you should have gotten a nice, sensible pair of walking boots. So I didn't really fit in with the general Carry On film, so it's kind of been renegated to nobody knows about it anymore. Ba 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 ba. This raging tomato needs to be turned into sauce. Squeeze it dry, then put its juices on your chips. Oh yeah. Not sure you ever really needed to think of the word juice when referring to putting tomato sauce on your chips. Have you got a lovely juicy pair of chips? Oh yes I do. Final Fantasy tomato jingle. Hell yeah. Or tomato jingle. Tomato tomato. Potato potato. Tomato tomato. Let's call the whole thing sauce. In fairness, it is weird how you've got chips and tomato sauce. It's a beautiful sort of... Or chips and ketchup we'll go with, because then I don't have to use the word tomato in that sentence. Chips and ketchup is a thing. And both of those are tomato, tomato, potato, potato. Just a weird... It's a weird realisation that both words on something that goes so well together end up being, you know, one of the more contentious pronunciations of words. Da, 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 da. They both have toes. That is true. That is true. Kill the slugs. Get rid of the slugs. They're ruining your garden. That's another thing you don't want if you're doing the naked gardening challenge. You don't want slugs rolling up there, do you? Ooh. Icky slugs have crawled up your leg. And they're doing terrible things. Yeah. Yes, earlier on I was discussing that I had spotted on Twitter that apparently one of the things today is it is Naked Gardening Day. I don't think it's an actual challenge, it is literally just meant to be a day, the Naked Gardening Day, where everybody goes out into their garden naked. And it's interesting because it looks suspiciously like, certainly around my way, nobody got the memo, because there's plenty of people out in the garden doing gardening, none of them naked. But that's probably a good thing, truth be told. I don't really need that in my life. All my neighbours wibbly bits wobbling all over the place as they're wandering around doing their DIY. Good lord. Don't need that in your life at all. Diversity, I think, maybe. But yeah, as I say, I don't really understand where that's come from, but it's one of those things on Twitter that seems to have cropped up as the sort of top trending things is Naked Gardening Day. Which is a weird concept indeed. Especially because a lot of the time you actually put on extra clothing and extra protective layers to do gardening. So the idea of then removing all of that in order to do naked gardening just seems weird. And especially, like, would you keep putting on the protective gear? So you'd put on like a protective. I've just had a terrible vision now of someone completely naked, but with like thick, heavy-duty gloves on to do the naked gardening. But it kind of goes against the idea, doesn't it? Surely, because it's like, right, we're doing naked gardening. Put on the protective gloves and your Wellington boots in order to get through and do all the stuff. Oh dear. I suppose it depends on who you imagine. That's true. That is true. It's a true fact. But either way, it just seems like a bizarre little oddity that clearly, like, it feels like it's one of those things that Twitter's just made up. Which, I mean, that's a lot of the world, I think, in fairness. An awfully large volume of the world is what Twitter made up, I think. But nonetheless, it does seem just mind-bogglingly bizarre. But there you go. That is the world we live in. It is simply mind-boggling bizarreness. All day long, every day is here. And every day is mind-boggling and super weird. Let's get down to a relentless assault. I will continue pummeling you until you die, 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 die. And I don't mean a princess. It's been an event since 2005. Really? Wow. It's one of those ones where I've never heard of it until today. So 16 years, I was saying, 16 years of Naked Gardening Day, and this is the first I have ever heard of it. And to be honest, I'm moderately pleased by that fact. I'm honestly not that put off by the fact that I've never heard of it. What was that? Oh, it must be that. Oh, it must be one of those flying birds. Whatever. Oh, unless it is actually. I mean, it certainly did come at me, but I can't. I don't care about you, sir. You are meaningless to me. Yes, yes, you are. You're worthless to my attempts of glory. I don't have to face off against every single monster. I'll face off against a lot of them, but you know, it's one of those flying birds. You know, the ones that fly. Yes. Which is a very weird thing for birds, obviously. Usually birds... Well, in fairness, actually, birds can be grounded. The dodo, I believe, was a land bird. Penguins? Penguins are technically birds, and I don't think they fly. So, strictly speaking, it's not quite as insane as it sounds. So there, nanny, na. Oh, beating down the Aurunes and the Triffids. I don't know if this was all of the enemies down this path, or just a sort of a starting group, but The reason why I'm going down this path is there was a treasure chest at the end of it. Slightly surprised I missed it earlier, but I suppose I must have just sort of popped down and never really acknowledged the fact that I needed to look behind me. Paradigm shift. Pam. Pam. I didn't really mean to say Pam. It was supposed to be Pow. But it turned into Pam. Post-apocalyptic mayhem. I think I mentioned that game previously, when I previously mistakenly said Pam. But yeah, if you've ever played Post-Apocalyptic Mayhem, aka Pam, it's quite a fun game. It's a bizarre little racer type game with an emphasis on weaponry. And the one that, if I did mention this example last time, but the one that sticks in the brain is the ice cream van that sort of shoots giant deadly balls of ice cream at the at the enemies in front of it. I think. I can't honestly remember much in the way of the other vehicles. It is just that ice cream truck that sticks in the brain. I suppose maybe that's it's a sign of a good design, really, isn't it? If that's the one that sticks in your brain. The other car racing game that always sticks in my brain is Vigilante! Second Offense. I'd recommend that game as well. Fantastic game. I played it mostly on the Dreamcast, but I think it was available on some of the other consoles as well. But yeah, it was a good one. It was a fun one. Just this sort of open worldy sort of area where you'd wander around and do sort of missions and tasks, and then sort of battle each other. You could in the sort of multiplayer style stuff. Very entertaining game indeed. But some of the characters in that, like you had the garbage truck, which was quite entertaining. Then you also had the guys on the bike. They were sort of motorbike trick type people. There we go, stunt drivers on a motorbike. But I think it was a motorbike and sidecar, if memory serves. So that was quite entertaining. They were really weak though. They were like super weak. But they were also very speedy, I think, very nippy. And then there was the sort of cyborg fella from the future, so he was like a cyborg copper from the future. So he had like a floating car that was really sci-fi, super sci-fi. Super futuristic, I think, was what I was going for. But I couldn't quite get the word futuristic out of my brain. It got stuck on all the useless nonsense and stupidity. Don't you conjure anything, you little prick. I don't want to see you bringing in all of your friends. Because remember, I will slaughter your friends. Does that put you off summoning them? Are you a noble sort of creature where, if I say I'm going to slaughter you and all your friends, will you stop calling your friends? And just take the slaughter of yourself, thus protecting your friends? Or would you simply still call your friends and go, yeah, there's a slaughter here. Could you maybe come and enjoy it with me? There was a slaughter, and I thought immediately of you. Does anybody have a friend that they would call if slaughter was guaranteed? I suppose arguably you'd have to break it down into two potential scenarios. Either you call the friend you hate the most, and thus wish to see die alongside you, or you ring the friend you think might actually protect you from the slaughterer. Whether they do or they don't is another question, but, you know. Doop-be-doo-doo. Happy fun times, back in this place, the fingers of stone. Don't finger me with a stone. Well, if you've smoothed it. No, probably still no. Although probably they did do that, I'm sure. That's another one of those subjects. Maybe veer away. Maybe back down that road. And we saw a little signpost. Saw a little signpost at the crossroads, and it said there was a much more sort of delightful conversation that doesn't require fingering people with stone tablets. If you just take the left path. There you go. Cool. Thank you. Do do. Just keep smiting. The beastie's here. Oh, I'm always ready. 5 stars! Always ready for a 5 stars. And I'm always ready to get down with some esoteric oil. Oh, it's the Ickleflans! 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 Oh, how I've missed you, Ickleflans! I have fought them before, and I ask it. Oh, I've missed you, you tiny little flan friends. We've been going against the big killer tomatoes. Now we get to return to the flans. Return of the flan. Return of the flan. He is the man who can return the flan. This flan is not suited for my purposes. What was your purpose? I wanted to eat the flan. This is a fairly standard purpose. Yes, but it was out of date, so I wish to return the flan. Fair enough. Is this supposed to be a funny joke, or... No, it's a very serious situation. The flan was out of date. I see. But is this not supposed to be a comical sketch type scenario where you do something funny? No, I just want to return the flan. Ideally, for a new flan that is in fact got an appropriate date. Right, so is that genuinely all you've got there? Yes? I want to return the flan. I want to get the new flan. Are you willing to help me out with this situation, or do I have to call the ombudsman? No, I can very much help you, but I figured there'd be a farcical situation in the middle of this comical sketch. Nope. Cool. I'll just get that new flan then for you. Thank you. He seems to be taking his time with his flan. And I have better things to do than wait for my flan. There you go. I've got the flan for you. Thank you. I'm off. I'm leaving the shop. Comedy sketch fell flan. Very good. Very good. You may have actually rescued the absolute nonsense that was. Da 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 da. Although I'm not convinced anything could rescue that level of utter garbage. Ba 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 doo doo ba ba doo ba da ba. Let's kill a dire flan. Oh no, I'm going to die. Die to the flan. If you live by the flan, you will die by the flan. How many flans can you eat before you die to the dire flan? Ba 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 ba. Probably ought to get some health up in this house. Yes. Girl, heal me. Heal my wounds, so I can sing and croons to you. But arguably that was a shit lyric, that one. Most of them are. One in about 1,000 is actually a semi-decent lyric. Note the phrase semi-decent. Not a good one, just semi-decent. Da, da, da. You've got to go up to a sort of one in a billion to actually find a good lyric. Ba, 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 ba. 4 stars. Disappointed. Disappointed. Super duper disappointed. Oh yeah. I'm gonna kick the shit out of more flans. Now, is that one I've done or is that one I've not done? I get the feeling I don't know if I've ever been down the Fingers of Stone. Certainly I recognise the enemies down the Fingers of Stone, but I don't think I've actually been down the Fingers of Stone. Are you going to turn around, or are we just going to face each other for a while? Your mate seems happy moving around, so do you want to... I think you should join your friend. Moving around. Move around. Go on. Have a mooch. Have a bit of a... horrendous squelching noise elsewhere. Not convinced that's anything to do with these two, which is weird. Oh well, fuck it. Just have to approach from the front. Never mind. It shouldn't take much to beat a couple of flans, unless they turn into a big flan, in which case it still won't take much, it'll just take a bit more time. Which is... time is precious, because time is money, and money is time. So if I sold the thyme that was growing in my herb garden, I could earn some money. And that, you see, is two meanings of the word thyme. It's different spelling, but it sounds the same. And that's where the humour stems from. I see. I'll make a note of that. Is that how you make notes? Yes, I just sort of make a little tune in my head. You weren't making a tune in your head, you were making a tune out loud, weren't you? Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Dinky-doo-da, rinky-ra-ra. Now we'll... Oh, God almighty, another fucking flan. Flans for days. Oh, we've definitely been down this path at some point, because that treasure chest has been dealt with. Which means we've definitely been here before. But never. Never but never. Have you never butted? Have you butted never? Who is never? Never. Never is a man. Have you butted never? I've never butted never. I didn't even think butting never was a question. He seems so distant. But do you think he'd enjoy a good butting? No. In fact, his catchphrase is never but never. Because he doesn't want you butting him. But I told you not to butt him. See what I did there? I kind of twisted the definition of butt into being the butt. It's pretty scary for anybody listening to that horse shit. Carrying on. This is what happens when the game gets slow and slightly boring. My mind just shuts down and doesn't do anything. You have to prepare for food. Is that sort of just sitting and opening your mouth? I am now prepared for food. It will approach sometime. Think about your character. I will. Snow, what are your thoughts? No, I think I know what you mean. I've already got some semblance of plans. I don't know precisely some of the finer details. I'm not so sure about, but there's a general sense of what I want to do. But yeah, I don't know. I'm in two minds because it's I think it might be quite fun. But it's yet another character, of course, as is seemingly my race and Detra, which is, I suspect, it's the character that's going to be all flashiness and no real actual substance to being able to battle anything. Because once again, I'm looking at getting two weapons that are not the high dice, and you do sort of look at them and you go, right, you could just choose these. Yes, but the character. But think of the character. Think of the character. And yeah, I keep doing things that are sort of, I mean, in fairness, I am considering a female character, so she might be considered to have two potatoes. Really? Yeah, I know. It was a stretch. And you don't necessarily want to stretch your potatoes, but... Yes, I'm in two minds whether to do a female character or a male character. That's one of the key details I need to nail down. Mixed with, as I say, I don't know. It's so difficult, because... I know, like, a lot of people, I think, what you're supposed to do, of course, when approaching a D&D character, is probably put your hands up and say, I mean you no harm, because usually they're psychos that will attack on everything in sight, but no, when approaching a D&D character, I think I get the impression a lot of people, possibly even the majority of people, approach it as, what class do I want to be, and how do I get it to hit as hard as possible? Whereas I approach it as, I like the idea of this as a character. How can I manipulate the rules of D&D to allow me this character? And it makes for sort of less efficient characters. Yes. Yes, power building is the norm, I think, I feel. Or at least it feels like it from my experiences of it. Which is, in fairness, are limited, but... I don't know, it always feels like my characters are, like, quite lame in terms of actual doing power. They never seem to get anything done, but still. And I will. We may actually have passed the area. No, 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 no. No, don't do it. Don't do it. You had a bit of a wibble there, but please don't do it. We haven't actually had a save point in quite some time, and I'd really rather not have that as a thing. I suppose I'd probably have to sort of just fill in the gap on my own time in the midweek if it did decide to screw itself up. But yeah, please just don't. I would appreciate you not fucking it up. 4 stars. Well, I suppose arguably for us that is just another battle, because we are not very good at battling. Okay, so I think the general plan of action, what we'll do is get to this save point, this next one along the line, and then I'll deal with the Crystarium and then put it away. I shall put it away. Okay, so I think this might be our next one. I believe we're after number 8. Number 8 or 9, one of the two. So if it's either 8 or 9, I think we're probably satisfied that this is the next one. Because it's not glowing yet, so I think it is the new one. The 8th one, the 11th hour. That's a Doctor Who episode. A Rakshasa lurks along the route to the Yashchas Massive, and I'm supposed to hunt it down. I think I'll pass. If it's crystal or Seath, my life is over anyway. I might as well make the most of it. From here on out, I live for me. A reasonable assessment of the situation. I can't deny you. That's very reasonable way of thinking. But that's another waystone, so I'll have a little bit more teleportation action available to me. But for now, what we'll do is I will save it immediately, just in case, because it does feel quite a lot like it wants to go off on me, and I don't want that. But we've got 54,000 crystal points. Oh, that's a lot of points. Carry on, Sentineling. Oh, yes, indeed. A reprieve. What does a reprieve do? Oh, yes, we investigated that last week, I believe. If HP is above a certain threshold, retain 1 HP when an attack would otherwise KO you. Now, I believe... I'm not sure, truth be told. No, I think, actually, thinking about it... Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's only active in Sentinel mode. So it's only useful for when you are being a Sentinel. It is not a global ability. It will only kick in when you are a Sentinel. But on the flip side, you know, it's quite good being a Sentinel, and if you take a heavy blow that should really have killed you, you will survive. It doesn't actually specify what the threshold is, though, so that's slightly sort of like, what is the threshold you're referring to, game? If he has 2 HP, will he survive? If he has, you know, what's the threshold? That's a relatively key piece of information I feel like it's missing. But I'm assuming, obviously, the threshold is, you know, it's not going to let you do it if you're at 1 health, naturally, because otherwise it would be invulnerability and not an ability. Synergist first, I think. But yeah, I don't know precisely. You know, is it like a percentage of your maximum health? So if you're at 100 health, it won't kick in. Ah, Zaz has got his next ATB level. Yes, the man, the myth, the legend. He can now do 5 of his ATBs, and that's what we like to see. Sabotage, no, Sentinel, I think is probably the better choice. Vendetta. I can't quite remember what Vendetta is. Okay, interesting. That sounds a lot like... I mean, I'm assuming it's perhaps just an improvement of one of the others, but it sounds a lot like Entrench, and not in a sort of... It's doing more than Entrench, just in a sort of... It's basically Entrench in a different colour. Come on, boy. We gotta get you some synergy is probably the better choice. I was tempted to sort of try and plough into a bit more of his medic stuff, but I don't think it's hugely useful. Bravery. Remind me. Oh yeah. No, I know what faith and bravery are as concept and as buffs. Right. Let us go. What I'm also going to do, I think, is build a new battle team, because I think I want to be Zaz for a little bit. And then I do sort of feel like... I mean, I can maybe survive without a Sentinel, but I don't necessarily feel like I want to... I think maybe I'll just run around as Zaz with Lightning and Vanille. Yeah, I think that's a reasonable one. Relentless Assault, always the top one. Let's get Ravager, Commando, and Medic as my second in command. And then Bully, yes, we do want Bully, but what do we want sort of here? What sort of thing are we thinking here? Maybe Commando. Yeah, Commando and 2 Medics might not go amiss, but not necessarily there, so we'll pop that at the bottom. So Synergist. You probably want something to do with Medic there. Hero's Charge. Not intolerable. See, Ravager. Yeah, Ruthless might not go amiss as well. Have an extra Sabotage in there. Yeah, I think we can probably live with those. I might end up figuring out something I could do to make it better, but at the moment, certainly I think that's acceptable enough. Right, so let's save there. And then let's save in the last slot. That's the ticket. And then finally, we want to save in that first slot once again to get it back in its rightful position as the first slot. And now, oops, that's the wrong button. There we go. Quit the game now. Quit it real good. Oh, my happiness is true. I've had a massive poo. It's big, it's long, it's brown. Oh, fuck, it won't flush down. There you go, special treat for you. And by special treat, I really do mean special. Whoops, that's not exactly the buttons I was after. That's fine. Let's move my screens around. And then let us figure out a way to get to where I need to go. That's right. Oh, yeah. Maybe. Well, that looks quite creepy. I'm assuming that was one of his unboxing things in his little unboxing session today. He's got a crazy new mask, our boy Robotron. Right, let's just, I tell you what we'll do. I'm just going to check how many viewers there are, because it might just not be worthwhile. Yeah. Nah, I don't think it's probably. I think there's only me and the Bushman, and I think that's probably the Bushman not fully paying attention at the very least, owing to preparing dinner. If I knew more of the words of the song Dinner, that would be I mean, that would be quite useful, wouldn't it? But unfortunately on this occasion I do not. Right. So let's do the usual, yeah. We won't bother raiding. I'll just say cheerio and then end the stream and do the rest of it. I suppose one thing I will point out, as was mentioned earlier, is that going to work? Yeah, good. Mr. Blue Bush is going to be online tonight, and if you fancy some X-Wang, where it just gets chopped clean off, you have got the option of Mr. Caliber or Mr. Blue Bush tonight. I will be back probably Monday. Yeah, I'll probably at least finish off the lightsaber project, but I can't deny it. Modelling Monday might go the way of the dodo and be removed from existence, because it's not really doing much. Either that, or I'll try and figure out a way of presenting it better than me mumbling around figuring out what the fuck I'm trying to do whilst trying to do it. I don't think that's a particularly good format, but nonetheless, it's what happened. But yeah, we'll probably finish off what the project we started, essentially, by animating it, which I don't know precisely. Again, piss poor format. I don't know precisely how I plan on animating it, and thus I'll be sort of umming and ahhing. But what I wouldn't mind doing is using some physics simulations. But there's an argument that says, is that necessary? No, I could just straight up hand animate the whole thing. But I don't know. I just like the idea of using a little bit of physics simulations to get it to roll in a more natural fashion. Whether I can or I can't, I don't know. But nonetheless, we'll try. Then Wednesday, I mean, I suppose to a certain extent, Wednesday was surprisingly popular. So that might stay, after all, as it turns out. But we'll perhaps stick to Rocket League. That seemed quite alarmingly popular. I don't know whether that was some bizarre coincidence or it was a genuine sort of, we love Rocket League. And then, of course, Thursday. Thursday. I don't know what we're doing Thursday. I might change the time to be... I don't know why I'm discussing it. Nobody's here to know this, but... Oh well. I might be changing up the time to 9 o'clock, maybe. Because a large volume of people don't turn up until sort of at least 8:45. Which kind of means 3/4 of an hour of the start is, of course, a little bit wasted because nobody is present. But that's for Thursday. That's for figuring out Thursday and the rest of the time. Yeah, that's it. I will say cheerio, I will end the stream, and then that's it. Do we want to just... fuck it, we'll do it anyway. So we'll do a little raid. So what I'll do is I'll say cheerio, then I'll say raid, and then we'll... Although that is... Yeah, that's one viewer, which is probably me. Fuck it, come on. Right. Cheerio.